we'll start this off. So, hello everybody in the chat. I don't know how many people are in here right now. I can't see, but basically, I know you guys have been asking me to do the Crowder Hours now for like the last 3 weeks, but I've been in the process of moving, obviously traveling, having Anaheim and everything else kind of going around. So it's been hard for me to get my stream up. And even right now, my other mic got stolen, so I'm using like a different mic. I've had a lot of issues in the last like month, so we're making it work. But basically, I'm here with Clayster from United, Slasher from 100 Thieves, and Skrapz from FaZe. And we're going to just talk about COD, Anaheim, roster changes, and anything else you guys really want to talk about, like the last 2 episodes if you haven't watched. We're just basically going to bullshit around, have some fun, and talk about it. So, to get right into this, boys, we'll start off with Anaheim before we go to the roster changes, because obviously the roster changes is like the main thing. But I ask this every kind of podcast. Did any team surprise you and like in a good or bad way from Anaheim? What was like your number one surprise in a good way and a bad way? I feel my like number one surprise personally like is GenG. Last
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah, like last episode we talked about like the team that's probably kind of over, and it was like GenG, how they like got 6 but they got reverse swept. They can't like get over that hump, you know what I mean? Like that whole like talk about it. And then like they came out and got second and like they looked really good. So like I feel like GenG for me is like definitely like my number one team in a good way. I don't really know in a bad way. Actually, what am I saying? Envy was definitely in a bad way. Those guys went 0-12 in map count. They didn't win one map. Yeah, definitely that.
Pat's done that at 2 Anaheims now.
Wait, what?
That's
He
incredible.
did that with the old 100 Thieves for the first 100 Thieves team as well.
Wait, he didn't win a map?
Yeah.
Nope.
Wait, I
Black
thought that
Ops
was
3, right?
so. That's not the
Yeah.
first time that's ever happened.
No, he
Oh,
did
I
it.
didn't know that.
He was a part of it both Anaheims, both times. But yeah, I mean
That's-
GenG.
that's
GenG is
crazy.
good. I feel like FaZe, you could say they came out and played pretty well. I mean,
Yeah.
in a good way. In a good way.
way.
Wait.
I think for me, it had to be EG. I expected a lot more out of EG, to be honest.
Yeah.
They look pretty good online when we were scrimming them and stuff. So
Dylan's nasty. I think Dylan's pretty good.
I mean, EG is weird. So like EG is like a team, like they're rumored to make changes right now. They haven't like announced anything officially, but like, well, I guess was Phantoms announced officially?
I think he
that-
was.
Yeah. So EG's obviously making a change. I don't know who they're picking up, or I can't really say it, but like they're weird because like I feel like that team always got like went up 2-0, went up 2-1, about to close out the series. They're up 240 to 200, and then they lose the game 5. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like every time they were like right there, they like kind of like just like dropped the ball, and it was like so weird to like see because I feel like a team with like Cap and Dylan and Apathy are like those are like kind of the players that like play like the fundamentals the right way for the most part and like kind of close out those series, but like they didn't. It was weird. So they were definitely a weird team too, like in the upsetting way, in like the surprising way, in a bad way.
What did they get? They got 16th
They
again.
got, I think they got 16th.
I think Dylan's gotten
Yeah,
top
they did.
16 in every event he's been to this year.
Jeez. Wait, who did they lose to in losers?
okay.
Oh,
That's definitely tough. Yeah. Wait, who'd they lose to this event? They lost to.
was it Splyce? Was that the team they lost to?
Heretics.
It was a Heretics.
I don't remember who they
remember.
lost to in the first round of losers.
Wait, they lost to Splyce to get knocked out, but they were up
Oh yeah.
in that
was it.
series. They were up
When
in that
Looney got the
series.
1v5.
And I think Donnie 1v2'd them in the control 2-2, like last round of control. They were in a 2v1 and Donnie 1v2'd and they ended up losing the series.
Jesus.
That's what I'm
That's the
saying.
series that Looney got the
tough series,
1v5.
dude.
I'm pretty sure they got the first 2 kills round 11 and then Nolson 3-pieced them.
Oh.
They went up.
8-5.
Yeah, Nolson 3-pieced him in the middle of payload, like the little tube
Yeah.
area. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like that's not a team that I would see having those kind of issues, like with like choking. You know what I'm saying? Like choking, like when it matters. I feel like that would be the opposite of their issues. I feel like their issues would be more of just like sometimes like lacking in the slaying department or something, and that's like not really what they're doing. I feel like they're just not like closing it out. I know, yeah, Attach has been playing really well with them. I mean, Dylan's a good player. I feel like over the years he's kind of not like he's kind of like lost that rep like a little bit, but I feel like with this team he's like kind of showing like how good he actually is, like playing like that more of a.
Oh,
a
another
solo
team we
role.
didn't talk about was UIU. They got 1v2'd by Rick.
Oh, dude,
To
I
get
was standing
eliminated.
behind. I was standing behind them.
Like,
That happened.
come
That
on,
Wait,
bro.
you were standing there, bro. Method's
Yeah, bro.
reaction was hilarious. I
It
saw that on
was,
Twitter.
dude. There was 15 seconds left, and Rick's on offense, and like he still somehow won the round 5. Like game 5, round 11. Like
Well,
I don't.
Wasn't it like something I didn't see the round like with my own eyes, but wasn't it something like if like one of the UIU players literally just dropped their controller and like walked off the stage, they would have won?
Yeah, pretty much. Rick didn't play the
Probably,
ball. Like, I mean, seriously, Rick didn't play with the bomb. He might have pushed out the back, and checked, but
Or like
you
if
know,
like one of them
literally
just like backed up and just said like "Yo, GG's," like and started giving fist
just
bumps, they would have won.
screamed like just one shot, and so the next kid challenged instantly and got shot punched, and it's like,
Yeah,
well,
that's
now
tough.
you're out of the tournament.
Yeah, the only thing I saw from that whole entire situation was
Zinni's reaction.
Zinni's reaction when he was
And
sitting there like,
honestly, though, Rick worked well on that team for like he knew their system. He was an ICR that could just like keep everybody calm and stuff. Like we scrimmed him a couple times before their matches, and they weren't bad. Like they were beating us on a couple maps. So I don't know. I think them getting 1v2'd by Rick, who has played like still plays COD. It's not like he hasn't played in months.
oh yeah,
Plays Blackout all the time. He plays Wagers, plays tens.
yeah. I mean, obviously, like it's not what you just said. It's like he hasn't been retired for years. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he played in the beginning of the year, so it's not like that crazy. It's just obviously now with like the stigma of him being a coach, it was a little bit different. But like
stigma.
But like it's still like he like what you said. I run in the Ricky and Blackout in the morning every morning. You know what I'm saying? Like he's around. He plays a lot, so definitely. But still, I don't know. I think that LG team without Gunless, like they were kind of just more like relaxed and loose. You know what I'm saying? Like even though they didn't do very well, it's kind of what we were just talking about like right before we went live. It's just like a lot of these teams or a lot of teams in general are like it's not really about like the talent and all of that stuff. It's about getting the talent to go the right way. Like you know what I'm saying? Like getting the talent on the same page and getting the players on the same page. Like I mean, Clay, you could probably agree. Like all three of you, you're all on very good teams at the moment, and all three of you have had issues with like your teams probably before, where it's like when you guys aren't doing the right things, no matter how good you are, like, that's like how I feel at least. It's very different this year. I feel like last year you can kind of get away with like all.
I mean,
that
Matt,
kind of stuff.
you've been on a few teams this year, right? Like, how's the difference for you? Like,
Yeah.
My last team, I wouldn't really judge it like that. It's just, I think everybody gave up. There was just so much going on outside the game. Everybody gave up with each other, and it was just took a big toll on us. So I wouldn't really class that as everybody was just playing a free for all, a team deathmatch.
Yeah, I feel like you guys had a lot of outside stresses kind of going on with the whole red reserve and
Relationships. Everyone was owed
yeah.
50K.
That's what I'm saying. There was a lot more out of game stuff that was affecting everyone's mood on like how to play. that had to definitely be interesting. I mean, I feel like Austin can probably like talk about the 100 Thieves team before me and Preston joined and how you guys stunk in the sense, but it wasn't like you guys weren't not talented. It was just you guys were just all over the
No,
fucking map.
we were super talented. We just didn't. I mean, we tried to have a game plan, but nobody agreed on the game plan.
Yeah.
So everyone was just doing their own thing on what they thought was right, which just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It could work against the Scrubs, but when you play an actual decent team,
Well,
that's the right thing.
Yeah, I think therein lies like there's no like correct play like playbook, Every year we play a new game and like eventually we figure out what the best plays are and what the best rotations and all that. But especially towards the beginning of the year, everybody's got like a different idea of how to play it because we've all done this so many times. It's just like I think we should do this. I think we should do this, and it's like you try them both, and they work some of the times and they don't work the other times. And then people get like stuck in the trenches, and they're just like, I want to do this. Like, let's hit front. And the other person's like, let's hit the fucking back. Like, why the fuck we hit in front? And then it's just like back and forth.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean,
in this game, honestly, you just all agree on one thing and understand that's what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's like people have like their own ways of playing COD, but like what you just said is definitely like the most true thing, especially in this game is like you can play a style that might not be like the most consistent way of like other people thinking like that's how you win like multiple events or back to back and all that other stuff, but like at the same time, if you have two people in this game disagreeing on what you want to do, like one goes to the back, one goes to the front, and like one person's like, we got to be hitting the front and flooding the front, and then the other person's like, no, we got to be going around the back and playing like a pinch. It's like if you don't have all five people like thinking the same way in this game, you get exposed and you get exposed fast. It doesn't matter who the hell you are. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't matter. Like no matter how good you are, if you run into like three people pushing the front of Lambo on Hacienda, like I don't care if you're me or you're gunless, you're not getting those 3 kills. Like it's very hard to at least. So it's like, it makes it a lot harder. And I feel like a lot of those teams, like with these new roster changes, which we'll be talking about pretty soon, is going to be like the do or die with a lot of those teams. Like I feel like right now, you three are all on pretty good hardpoint teams for the most part. I don't know like the specific stats of like everyone's rosters and shit, but like you guys are all good at hardpoint. And I feel like if you guys can probably all agree, that would be like the main thing, right? Like just making sure like everyone's going the right spot when and like how, like not being like annoying, like in the sense, I don't know. I feel like
No,
that would
100%.
be my thing.
The thing about these teams though is that what's scary for them is they don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
They have like no time whatsoever. Like what? Some of these teams go to cross division in 2 days, so they have a couple days to play before they even get to their matches.
Yeah.
And after that, how long do they have? 2 or 3 weeks before playoffs, the second biggest event of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So like, they're gonna be like money tens teams to an extent. Like they're gonna have a little bit of practice, but nowhere near as much time as like the teams who are already formed and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's such a toss up with who's gonna do good.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Maddie?
That's what this phase team was going into. You know, the second 2 weeks of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was just saying it's just a money tens team, and as it went on, we just got a lot better. So we're still struggling in S&D, but everybody's learning the basics, and we have so many slayers. So hardpoint is very easy. Same with control. It's just search and destroy.
Yeah, that's been your biggest struggle, like since your team.
Yeah,
started,
like
right?
Anaheim. I think our hardpoint record was like 13-2. We barely even lost one.
Really? Ah, I didn't know that. That was really good. What you guys lost? What, game 5 to Optic twice?
Twice, yeah.
Twice, yeah. Was it frequency S&D both times?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. They're really good at that. Now.
Where's Ben at, man?
Yeah, where is
It was
Ben, bro?
It was either that or Dashi 1v5 on payload.
Yeah,
There's-
no.
Payload's also their best map, so.
Of course, probably playing them is just tough in general. They're good at S&D. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That's
Sure.
with a lot of teams. So.
Especially with when they have the crowd and shit. Shit gets really frustrating in game 5s versus them.
That's actually funny. One of like I got a tweet. We can talk about it now before we talk the roster changes. People are saying like, so do you think like the crowd makes a difference? Someone wanted to know it, and I figured I can ask you guys because obviously I don't play. But
On
like,
main, no. On Bravo, sure.
yeah, on main, no. On Bravo, yeah. I could see that. I feel like on main, like when the crowd kind of gets loud, I even like this is like the first time I've kind of seen it other than London. Like I guess this year in general, I feel like the crowd's kind of been like two-sided. Like when I played, like I mean when we like played like a couple years ago, like bro, you played Optic, it was an Optic crowd or nothing. You know what I mean? That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like now, like we had some chance. FaZe had a lot of love. United had a lot of love. Like Clay, you get a lot of love. So I feel like on main for sure, like there's like a little bit of a crowd for kind of both teams. But yeah, dude, on Bravo, when you see like Optic play on Bravo, you just see how big their crowd is. It's like the entire Bravo station is just a bunch of people around it.
People are banging on the stage, and I like go to the bathroom. Kids like, you fucking suck. I was like, oh, okay, man. Like I gotta go take a piss. Like, damn.
Wait, that's actually funny. At London, I was I wonder if this guy's in my chat. He probably is. At London, I literally like walk up on stage. I think when did we play Optic in London? Was it the Winners Finals? I don't know when we played them. Whenever it was.
Yeah, Winners Finals.
So we play them on Winners Finals, and like I walk up there and I hear like Crowder from the stage, and like I'm thinking like someone's gonna be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like what's up? Like wave to me. So I look out into the crowd, bro, and he looked me dead in the eye and said, fuck off. And I was like, all right, like fuck, like my bad, dude. Like dude, it was so funny. Like he looked me like dead in the eyes. I really wish. I hope he's in the chat. It would be hilarious. But like, he looked me dead in the eyes and just fucking told me to go fuck myself. That was it. I was like, all right, well, I guess this crowd's not with us. Like fucking Christ, it was nutty. But yeah, I can definitely see how that could get annoying.
I just feel like on main, you're in your own little thing. You can't really see the crowd unless you stand up. You go to the bathroom in the back, like you're not interacting or anything.
I think I'm just used to it. They make that much noise. Like Dashi gets a kill in the back, bro. Everyone's screaming.
Yeah.
I'm just used to it, to be honest.
I feel like if the crowd's cheering against me, I like almost just block it out at this point and don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that never affects me. Like even on a side station or anything. But like,
yeah, for sure.
if they're cheering for me, like I know you can tell when they're watching your screen, like based off the cheers and like if you like 2-piece someone or something like that, you hear something.
Yeah.
Like cheering for me, like I can like use that as like confident, like oh shit, they're watching me right now. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, when
But
you go on a
against
little
me never
tear,
affects me.
you can definitely tell. Like when you go on like a
Yeah.
tear on main stage or something like that, and you hear the crowd, like if you get a 3-piece and as you get the 3-piece, like you hear like the crowd like kind of erupt, you hear like the vibrations, like you definitely know.
Mhm.
So it goes both ways. Yeah. No, someone really wanted to know that in my mentions. They were asking. They said they were wondering if that helps or not. If like people even like kind of tune it in or tune it out. And I was interested to see because obviously the crowds nowadays are a lot bigger too than like when we played like a couple years ago. I feel like it's pretty crazy. Like,
I'm just glad there's a little parity now, to be honest.
Mhm.
It's like really good that you guys just went back to back and like FaZe, you guys got a good team now. Like even at London, like that shit was super awesome. When like even we played Optic, it was like half and half. You know,
Well,
like
you
that's
had a big
really cool
crowd.
to see.
Yeah.
You know, and even like you saw that a little bit when we were on phase and kind of like winning a little bit. Like there was some, but I'm just glad now people like root for other teams. Like they're not just like I'm die hard whoever it is. You know.
The big thing about London to me is it seemed like the people there watching were COD fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like Optic
Exactly.
lost, they didn't like get up and like leave.
Yeah.
They sat there and were like, all right, who do we want to win this now?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
they
Pick a
picked you
team.
guys, and then they were cheering for you guys. Like,
As long as they've got a beer, bro, they'll cheer for you. They'll sit there all night and cheer for anybody.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
That
you
is
can't
true.
teach what thousands of years of culture, you know, for
Yeah.
all the chants and stuff. But
Yeah.
the Optic fans need to come up with some new ones because "Let's Go Optic" with a couple claps afterwards is like etched into my fucking brain at this point, dude. I was in the back warming up and I counted it 8 times in one map. I was like, all right, come on.
I like
Let's
the
get another one,
I like the
please.
Bruce chants, to be honest.
Yeah, the
but
Bruce
that's-
is sick. The Run It Up is sick. Like the new ones that are coming out are good chants, you know.
Well, they're new. Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
new
they're
too.
new.
Like because I'm a Mets fan, and there's a Bruce chant for one of their players, and it's just it reminds me of that. But like yeah, like I like the Bruce chants. I think those are pretty cool. At first, I thought everyone was booing them at first, and then I realized like they're saying Bruce because obviously Dashy's name is not Bruce, so I was very confused. I didn't catch on to it at first, but now I obviously get it. But yeah, I like the Bruce chants. I think they're cool. What did we think of LG? Someone had just said that in the chat. That was hilarious. That was really funny. But that's like what you said. That's culture. That's thousands of years of like. That's like. I feel like that would never happen at a North American event. For
Yeah,
now,
hey,
at least.
chat, I'm not saying E United chants any better. It's just the same as the Let's Go Optic, just saying E United. So I equally agree. It's ass. Don't get me wrong. Here. Don't
Yeah,
get
that's
me
not
wrong.
that's not like just because it's Let's Go Optic and not United. Yeah, no, like the Let's Go whatever, clap 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 is obviously not the best. Yeah, I definitely.
they just need to give the American fans some damn drinks.
Open it up so it's not just that VIP area, bro. I bet you it'll get
Mhm.
rowdy in there.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, bro, the one guy in the London crowd with the big, he had like the suit. What was he, like the beer can suit?
Like
You know what I'm talking
Corona
about?
can
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something
you
like
know what I'm
that. That guy
talking
was
about?
awesome. I talked
Yeah,
to that
wait,
guy for a little bit.
he was
dude.
at the bar like
Yeah.
later at that night, like at the casino, and he was
Still
still in
in
the
it.
fucking suit.
Still in it,
Yeah,
yeah.
still in the suit. I'm pretty sure he bought a bunch of us drinks. I wasn't really drinking after London, but I remember he literally had the suit, and he came up to me, and I was like, bro, you still have that fucking suit on. And he was like, hell yeah, mate, and he was going crazy. Yeah, he was having a fun night.
People had the tops off and everything. Going bonkers.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
Good fun.
All right, enough about beer can suits and chants. We can talk about the roster changes, which with like kind of what everyone wants to hear. So before I wrote these all down, by the way, about 6 more came to light, I guess, on Twitter. But I think people are announcing it probably still like while we talk. So we might forget some. I'll try not to. But I'll go down. So I have a few of them written down. We'll go like one by one, and I want to hear your opinions and stuff. So, all right. Roster changes. We're talking, first one that I saw was UIU. Their new team is Blastful, Saints, Classic, Methods, and Phantoms. What do you think? Starting with Clay.
Man, all right. Can we like write them somewhere or something? What Blastful Saints?
Saints,
I'm trying to get
Classic,
the
Methods,
COD
and
World League
Phantoms.
up.
Yeah, you can get the COD. It's all on the COD World League Twitter if you want to scroll through, too.
Okay, yeah. Hold on.
But
let,
yeah,
me, let, me,
dude-
let, me, let me pull something up.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is...
I'm gonna link it.
Bro, there
I
is
linked it.
so many... Yeah, there is so many, like...
Cool.
Good luck with keeping up.
Just
I literally...
find Ouya.
Bro,
Yeah.
I was like excited to do this podcast, and like I was all excited, and then I literally looked and I was like, holy shit, there's like too many to keep up with.
All right. So I mean, honestly, I think the team's good. I think Blastful's been playing really, really well. Honestly, like I think Methods has been unhappy with his team, as made obvious by like what happened at Anaheim.
Yeah.
You know, but like Phantoms just got dropped off of EG after going back-to-back top 16s, so that obviously means something's going on there, or like unless he was just the odd man out.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, he was
then
definitely
Nick-
the scapegoat. I'm gonna
Yeah,
throw
and
that
then
out there.
but then Nick just got dropped off LG too, so like he's also another scapegoat, odd man out, and then it's like Nato and Blast, so they're both like like I don't know, I just feel like as a team, 2 of those players are off the team because they were either like the worst or the odd man out or got voted or something. But then you have like Blast and Ant Methods who like I think Blast is insane at this game. I think Blast is really good at this game, and I think the team could be good. But it's like 2 of these players just got dropped out, or I guess all 4 of them just got dropped off their team, you know? I guess with all these rosters, everybody's gonna be having
Yeah.
gotten dropped off their team, right? Like,
Yeah, no, well, this is the weirdest. I think this is like the weirdest roster period of all time in Call of Duty. I feel like with 3 days and having like no chance to actually like figure it out and like actually have time to think about your like decisions, it's gonna be a lot of different stuff. So I don't know. What do you think, Austin?
I don't know, man. That's a weird one for me.
Are you gonna say it? Or am I gonna say it, bro?
I know one of you are gonna say it.
I think I don't know. It's weird because you have Phantoms and Zen on the same team. I think that's a weird thing. I don't know which one's gonna run the Maddox, and if one of them can even run like a Maddox, like efficiently. And then I think the big thing for this team is Blast. I think he's really talented. I don't think he's really good at the game yet. He needs to like, he hasn't had that like event where he's like figured it out or like became comfortable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like a super talented player. I feel like every time I play him in tens, he's like the best player. And then he
Yeah.
just hasn't like transferred that over into like his
In like
team
full
play.
form.
Yeah, and then it's also like you got Nick, who's coming off like a really rough spot. I don't think Nick is actually as bad as LG made him look, and
No,
I think
I
we're
agree with
probably
that.
gonna see that on this team, hopefully, anyways. Because
I agree with
this is
that.
gonna be a big time for Nick to try to like raise his stock again going into next year.
This is the time for him to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's
this
really
is
like a
this is
do or
the
die
time
for
to do
him.
that. Yeah, I agree with that. What do you think, Maddie?
Well, like Austin said, it's full of players that have just been dropped, combined with many bad attitudes. So it's a top 16 team. I can't see them winning an event, and if they do anything, but they go anything higher than top 12, top 8 at champs, it's a bonus.
All right. I don't know what to think.
I don't agree
mean,
with Timmy getting dropped though. I don't think
that's what I'm
Phantom should
gonna
have been
say.
dropped.
That's where I'm gonna go with this because I know you heard it. I heard you say the scapegoat thing about him. So obviously, I always say this when I talk about other teams because obviously you three know and other players that are watching this know. You never know the full like behind the scenes about a team when they make roster decisions. Like you could drop like your best player sometimes, and it's probably for a really good reason. And
Yeah.
like you might not know if it could be super toxic, just not clicking, yada yada yada. So you never know. But with that being said, I don't agree with dropping Timmy like at all. Like I feel like Phantoms was playing pretty well for them.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
like I think Timmy is a really really good Maddox and I think he's a really really good ICR. Does he have a lot to learn? Probably. He's a young player, but like I feel like he's got a lot of potential, like massive, like a lot of potential, and I think EG letting him go. I don't know who they've picked up officially, and obviously, even if I did, I really can't say it like because they haven't announced it. But like, I just don't know like if that fixes any of their issues. You know what I'm saying? I don't think like Timmy was like, oh, like the reason why we're doing this is because Timmy sucks. But I don't watch every single one of their VODs and like their matches and stuff. But I just feel like Phantoms like I thought he was playing pretty well in the league and stuff, right? Or was I wrong? I feel like he did pretty good.
Yeah, he was fine. He was fine in that team. He was playing.
Yeah.
He was
I
playing
mean,
pretty well.
It's not his fault. It's not Attach's fault. You know.
I think
Attach been playing well.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, the Maddox is by far the most OP gun in the game. I know he's not that type of player to drop your 1.2s, your 1.3s every series. This happened in your team. Jacob's dropping 0.7s again. That can't happen. No way. And Exotic's also running the second SOG, and every time we've played him, he's been getting well starred. Like he's in a role that he's not comfortable with. So you have to change one of them out, in my opinion. You don't drop Timmer. Timmer is fine.
Yeah, see, I definitely agree with that. I feel like Timmy is like I just don't think he was doing bad at all. I feel like he was really good at like what he was doing for that team. I don't know like behind the scenes like comms and shit, but I don't know. I feel like they're in a weird balance where no one on their team really wants to run that second SOG either, like what Maddie said. I feel like
I'm pretty sure Jacob didn't want to run the Maddox in his old team. We were supposed to put something together after when the RosterMania stuff was going down, and he said he wanted to main ICR. So I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He obviously doesn't like the gun, so.
Yeah, it's just I feel like you can't like your flex player is like one of your most important players as well.
Yeah, you did.
And
yeah.
like
Yeah,
I feel like
agree.
they don't have like a flex. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, and I could see like where people are kind of criticizing Cap. Like obviously I'm very good friends with Cap, and like he's not putting up the best numbers with the Maddox.
But like I said, he's never been known to do that. So.
Yeah, but the thing for
don't know.
me is like, it's weird because like Cap, I know like Cap does bring other stuff to the team.
Yeah,
and where, like
exactly.
Exotic, but in like what you said, like Exotic doesn't feel comfortable. I don't know. I just feel like Timmy was not the right choice in my opinion. I don't even know
I
if
feel
they
like it's-
technically necessarily needed a crazy
I just
change.
feel like it's too hard to know what to do when you're looking from the outside.
yeah,
in.
that's my thing. Where it's like even
'Cause,
with you
like,
guys, Austin.
Our team was the same
Yeah.
thing. Everyone said to drop Ken and keep Jay instead. And if you look at all the stats and you look from the outside in, that was the thing to do.
That made sense. That made complete sense.
But
yeah,
I was on the team and I knew that was not what we should have done. And clearly, like, it's worked out for us. So, like, I don't know. I don't know what their problem is. Obviously, like, they're not slaying. That's a clear issue. But, like, a 1-for-1 trade just doesn't seem to do much.
yeah.
in my
That's
opinion.
that's my thing.
They
It's
didn't,
like
they didn't need to change in that role. It
I-
had to have been Exotic or Jacob.
yeah,
Yeah,
I just
I don't
don't
know.
see. I just personally don't see like the change that they're making, like helping or hurting them. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's
Yeah.
like it's very like.
It doesn't
kind of
move the needle.
blah.
you
Yeah,
know?
it's just blah. Like it's all right. Like Timmy wasn't cutting it unless like they were picking up some crazy ass like heavy hitter superstar slayer that might be able to just kind of be a bailout here and there. I just don't see like it being that.
They're
different.
just in that weird spot, you know, where it's like after placing poorly and then going into the last roster lock, like who's really gonna want to
Yeah.
go team with them?
But-
But then you
Mhm.
have people like App and Cap and Dylan on the team who have placed well at champs, and you know
You
who
can never
make
count them
runs.
out. You can never.
Yeah, you can't count them out,
Yeah.
and so, you know, it's just not an appealing place to go. You know, that's the
Yeah.
worst part about it.
It's weird. It's definitely an interesting. And also, I mean, if I was putting myself in their shoes and I just got 16th back to back, like
You're gonna have to change something.
you got to, right? Like
Oh,
For the big
you
two.
have to.
Yeah,
you
you
have,
have
to
to.
change something.
So like maybe this change is like obviously nothing like crazy, but maybe that's all they needed was just a little bit of a
Yeah.
attitude lift. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of a different, just a different thing that make
Definitely.
Exotic feel more comfortable, and he plays a little better. This guy plays better, and boom, they're a better team. Like you never know.
Mhm.
That's why like what Austin said, looking from the outside in is not always the easiest thing to do, and that's why I try not to like go like super
we
like
can speculate though.
yeah. Oh, of course. I like to speculate, but I never like to go like super opinionated and be like that's just fucking wrong. Like you know what I mean? Like that's like I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I mean, I'll keep my bias away from that.
Yeah,
team.
obviously. I mean, even with your bias and you and Cap and everything. I mean, I also have like the bias with Phantoms. Like that's my son.
For sure.
That was FaZe Black. You know what I'm saying? That was the FaZe Black guy. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't like seeing him get dropped. I hate that. But yeah, all right. Moving on. So now this next
one.
roster change, personally, I think is a great one. Reciprocity picked up Alex for Shawnee. So
That'd be
now,
a really good team.
so okay,
Agreed.
Maddie, you're gonna have a lot to say about this one. We'll start you off with this one. What do you think?
Like even like when Anaheim was going on, he was in Joe's team, and Joe was even saying to my brother, make sure he's picking up. Apparently he was fine every series, even though what they come top 12, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He was fine. He was really good last year, and at Vegas he was fine. He was one of the top 5 players, and then obviously he didn't qualify for the league. He got really unlucky, but it's a good opportunity for him, and he's probably really excited. So
Yeah, I mean, you have to be happy seeing Wuskins obviously get a team.
they
and
needed
everything
that.
good,
They
too.
needed somebody that can just go off for the Maddox. Every
See.
team needs that, and that's what they didn't have.
Yeah.
Their SOG player was doing it, so
Yeah, both of their
Aside
Sogs, what
from-
was it, Dylan and Zed, right? Both of their
Yeah.
Sogs are like their heavy hitters, like their Slayers, and they didn't have anyone really picking it up in the Maddox
Dude,
world.
I mean, that's probably one of my most favorite roster moves from the whole thing. Was
Definitely.
them adding Alex, dude, for real. Like, I think they just they got the consistency with Denz, and Denz has been like waiting for this opportunities, like just chilling. And like I think Denz is good at what he does. And then like your brother's been doing his thing, and then Dylan's been frying, and so
Yeah.
it's like to get that other like Maddox in there, it helps a lot. It helps a lot.
Yeah. What do you think, Austin?
I think it's gonna help their pacing. I think Alex is a faster player than Shawnee, which is a good thing. The main thing about this roster is I just think Dylan's freaking disgusting.
Yeah.
I think he's
agree.
so good at the game, and a lot of people didn't know he was our actually backup pick behind Preston. We were gonna
Ooh,
pick him up. Yeah,
interesting.
that was gonna be our number 2 if we couldn't get Preston.
Yeah, that's,
and,
that's two
but
really good choices.
That's
Yeah,
intel right there, dude. I don't
I'm
think
also
anybody knows that.
I'm also really happy for Denz. Like I feel like he was in a really bad situation. Like at the beginning of the year, he had to run a sub, got benched, came back, and he's been playing good from what I've noticed.
he's been chilling,
So-
bro. He's been on full
yeah,
salary,
so-
sat at home doing nothing.
Yeah, I know, but still though, like I'm sure he wants to be playing.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you know
for
what
sure,
I mean?
for
Like
sure.
you moved out here to play, and like you're running a different role. You get benched, and then now you're coming back in, and he's on the good team
Definitely.
for like champs in Miami. So
I
Yeah.
think they've been on the precipice for a while, like right on that cusp of just
Mhm.
being like a really solid top 6 team that can compete for a championship, and they've just been like a piece away like every time. And now I feel like if there was ever gonna be a team, it was gonna be this one, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so yeah, basically everything you guys just said is perfect. So what Maddie said about Alex is like I thought Alex on that Unilad team last year was nasty. Like we
It
used
was
to
disgusting.
we used to play those guys and like I never thought like they were like some crazy team to be scared of, and like we beat them a good amount of times. They beat us a few, but like when we played them I was like, all right, this Alex kid is disgusting. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we have to shut him down. It's like always been like my mindset. And then this year they had Dylan, like Reciprocity had Dylan, and like they were always on the cusp, like what Clay said. They were like right there, but like they never had like that extra power to like really close out those big game series. You know what I'm saying? Like when they really
Yeah.
needed to. And I think Wuskins is a phenomenal AR. I think he plays that slow role pretty well. I think he's been doing his job. I just never saw like what Maddie said. Like they never had that Maddox to like drop and take over a game when like
Yeah,
you needed him
exactly.
to. Like, and it's hard in this game being a SOG. Like what Dylan does for his team is what very few can do in the entire game, in my opinion. I think like the way Dylan plays, how aggressive he is. He's the entry man most of the time. Him and Zed, and like Dylan does not bait people. He goes in, and, like he goes in first, and he comes down like with 2 or 3 a lot. Like that kid is fucking phenomenal, and like watching him do the things he's been doing all year. I think him paired up with someone like Alex now, like running a Maddox, looking over him. Like, let alone Dylan gets like his own trades a lot. Now Alex will be there right there. So I think like I honestly think that might have been one of the best roster moves. Like,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
Like, I think if they get like their situations down and like how to play, and they get on the same page, I think they're going to be a scary team. I think they're a team that definitely a lot of people should be looking out for if they can get
I've
it on
said
the
it
same
about
page.
Alex since I played against him last year. The
Mhm.
first time I played against him, he had a 4-piece kill cam, and I was the first kill and the 4th kill. And ever since then, dude, I've told this story before. Ever since then, I was like, damn, this kid's fucking filthy. Like he's on a level, dude. So I'm happy for the guys. I think
Wait.
I like the vibe. I love the rec videos. I don't know if you guys watch any
They're
of those.
hilarious.
They're actually
No,
hilarious.
they're funny. Yeah.
Wait, every time I'm around those guys, I instantly find myself smiling. Like they're just always happy. They're always funny. Even when they lose, like they're obviously upset and like they're like any other person, but like they're so much more happy than like other people. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just always
Yeah.
vibing. They're always like having fun. I feel like they're always like together vibing as a team, and that goes a really long way. And I feel like now that they have like that extra heavy hitter slaying, and like even having Dens doing his thing, like I think they're in a good spot, and I think they definitely had one of the best roster moves. I'm excited to see how they play, and they're all good guys, so hopefully they do well. So yeah. Okay, one sec. All right, yeah. All right, this one. This is like super speculated. I don't really know anything about this. I don't know if anyone from Heretics is in my chat, but if the coach of Heretics is here, I'd love to talk to you one-on-one one day about this, like to learn more about like your community, because I don't obviously know about it. But Heretics picks up Vortex for Sukri. I don't know anything in the sense of behind the scenes. Obviously, I don't really speak their language, so it's hard to know like who's doing what, toxic, not toxic, good, not good, like blah blah blah. But I thought that Sukri was pretty good at the game. Every time I played against him a few times, and every time I saw him, but I don't know, like, yeah. So Vortex is apparently from Italy. I think he speaks Spanish. Clay, you said something about that, right? Like he can speak
Yeah,
Spanish.
I was
Yeah.
reading on the subreddit. So he'll be the first Italian Pro League player. He was
Okay.
like born in Italy. His parents are Peruvian, speak Spanish. I think. I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah, so I don't really know too much, and like I said, I'd probably love to talk to like the coach of Heretics because he speaks pretty good English, and like talk to him about it maybe one day. But like, it's very weird because Heretics has always been like once again another team that's been on like that cusp. Like they're pretty good. They've beaten some of the best, and they've also lost like when it's really important. You know what I mean? And I feel like Sukri really wasn't an issue on paper in game. Like I don't really see why. I also don't know anything about Vortex. Is he disgusting? Is he not? Is you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like obviously we've seen Method struggle throughout this year. Like he's had his struggles like in the sense of KD and stuff, but at the same time like even going to our team, like I've seen Ian have some bad KDs, but like he's also been super important to the team. So like I don't really know. It's a very weird change. It's very weird. I have no idea.
I think at this point they needed something though because those guys have changed their roles like 20 times.
Yeah, I definitely think they
At this
needed a
point, like,
change. Yes.
It's actually like how ridiculous how many times they've changed their roles and how fast they just switch and they're still like pretty good.
Mhm.
But like clearly, like I don't know if I see people switching roles like that, clearly someone's not
Someone's
comfortable or
not
has
happy.
doubt in
Yeah.
something. Yeah. So like they needed something.
Yeah,
I just
it's
don't know enough to say if this is the right thing.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
It's very weird. Do you know any of them, Maddie, at all? Like, do you?
I spoke to them all. I think that Skrapz shouldn't have been dropped. I think he's one of their better players. It had to be methods, if you're asking me. But I spoke to him. I spoke to all of them, and apparently he has a really good relationship with the owners. I've seen videos of him out with them popping bottles and stuff. So he was probably the last person getting dropped. Probably a bit of biasness in there. So he was
Interesting.
probably the reason. In my opinion, it should have been him. But
Yeah, I don't know.
obviously that's okay.
It's definitely weird because I've heard like I've played against Sukri a couple times. He's pretty good. I also just it's weird not knowing how good Vortex is. Like, it's
Yeah, I've
weird
never seen him
like
play.
obviously
I mean-
I've had like good moments of like picking up amateur players and stuff and like kind of seeing talent. I don't play against people obviously like across the pond. It's just not something you really do. So like I have no idea. I've never played against him. I've never seen him play. I'm actually super excited to see how he is. It's gonna
I
be
looked
pretty
up
cool.
his like wiki page, and I mean he competed in IW like at a local, looks like. So I mean he's been at least playing COD for quite a while. You know, that's
Does it
4
say how old he
years
is?
now. Says he's 20.
20. All right, so he's not brand new. Like he's not
He was
like
on
a-
that
Superman.
movie star riders team.
Yeah, apparently the Heretics wanted somebody else, but they
Yako.
couldn't afford him. Yeah, Yako or somebody, but they couldn't get him.
Interesting.
That's what I heard from the start as well. Is that's who they were going after.
Yeah, is that so?
Hmm.
Now is that who I'm thinking of? Because maybe this is like a complete rumor. I don't really know, but I heard there was some kid in Spain or something like over like there. Like I don't know exactly where, but I think it was Spain. That is absolutely disgusting, and like he's really good. He's young. I think he's like 18, 19, and like I'm pretty sure they wanted to get him, but they couldn't. Is that the guy? Am I thinking about that person?
Maybe.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
he got like 4th in the Open at London and then 3rd at Anaheim, I believe.
Yeah, and apparently like, he was
Giants.
really good, and I don't really know like much about it, but yeah, is it Yako? Is that his name?
I,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
must
I'm
be.
not 100%, but I think
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it would I feel like it has to be.
Must
that.
be because the rest of
Especially
them are
if
shite.
they couldn't afford him. If they couldn't afford him, then he must be good. That's why they're asking for a lot of money, right? Like, or whatever it was. If they couldn't get who they wanted,
Yeah, no, it's
like the team didn't want to give him up.
yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it. I'm curious to see how they play because they're a team where they're on the cusp of like that greatness, like we were kind of talking about reciprocity. I just think like a change like this could also bring them down. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like a weird change because I don't know much about it, and I'm pretty sure like a change like this could hurt them significantly. But at the same time, I don't really know. So
It'd be like a midnight thing or an EXG
Yeah.
thing where it's like this team works like this and it's only held together because of these players, and like you try and replace it and then it just like goes to shit, you know?
yeah, no,
It very well could. But I think I love those Heretics guys. I think
So
they
do
have
I.
a good foundation, and I think their coach keeps them all in check
Bro,
and shit. So
they
I think
put in so much work, dude.
yeah, I think those kids like they're ready, and I hope they are, you know, because it's like opportunities for guys like that who it's like first year in the pro league and doing stuff like this. Like, I just feel like they should be putting in 110% every day to try and make a name for themselves, and to not be dropped and still be on the team. They should be going like fucking hard as shit, you know?
Yeah, and they do a pretty good job of that too. Like, bro, those Heretics guys, like, every time we're in the same league as them, because obviously they're in our division, like the matches stop on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You'll see like people play league play, some money 10, very little do teams really scrim online from the apartments. Like some teams do, some teams don't. Those guys hit me up for a scrim every day. Like they're ready to scrim at this time, wherever you want, whenever you want. Like they just want to scrim, they want to play, they want to get better. And like every time I see them talking, like I talk to their coach a good amount, always talking about like I can't really understand, but it looks like they're talking like about like COD, like where people should go and all that kind of stuff. Like it looks like they're super passionate and dedicated about it, and like obviously you see their passion on stage. So they're doing a good job of that this year, and I think kind of with that foundation, I think they should be fine. It's just very weird. I've never seen a change like this because obviously I've never really seen them in the league before like this year. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. All right, we can talk about the next one. This one, I don't know. I we were talking about this a little bit. I don't understand this one. How the fuck did Kyler get on Splyce for free?
I need to know what the good who's smoking the good stuff over there, bro.
Yeah.
So I need some of that, bro.
So
Who
like,
the fuck's
Where's
letting it
Mark?
go alone?
like, I
Yeah, that is. They didn't even get like Jerd or something in return. That's gotta be.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
They
I
picked, bro,
don't
they get a guy that they
understand
dropped 2 months ago.
this.
Speechless.
That has gotta be the worst roster.
They should have
pick of all
kept
time.
Gunless. They should have got Gunless and kept Kylo. Mind blown. For free? Not even charging him, bro. He's going to win Splyce money. And We're back. Couldn't believe it, bro. Don't even get me started. I've lost full of that roster.
So there has to be some behind the scenes shit, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I'm
Obviously,
saying.
yeah, there has to be.
There
I
has to
I
be.
heard they were doing that and building a team round X.
I just,
No way. No
dude,
way.
I don't see like, bro. All right, so
I-
Hugh is on Splyce. So they obviously Lamar was an unrestricted free agent or whatever. They got rid of Lamar. They dropped Lamar. They pick up Hook, but like Splyce doesn't give Envy Lamar. They don't get like, and apparently it was a loan, right? That's what it was announced as, a loan. So, like once again, to everyone in the chat, I'm not some mastermind with contracts and loans and stuff. So like, don't like I'm not sitting here criticizing and acting like I know. But like, is this in a situation where like, did Splyce pay for Envy for Kyler for like 2 months on a loan? Like they had to have paid a lot of money.
Probably.
Right?
Bro, I wonder how much 2 months of Kyler is worth.
Bro, that's a lot. It has to be a
nothing
lot.
Crazy. It can't be nothing crazy. There's no way they paid for 2 months like an absurd amount of money.
But like, bro, like I know Kyler wasn't happy, and I mean, granted, I don't think Kyler's really been ecstatic with that team for a while now. He's had some bad years on Envy just because like his teams haven't never clicked. But like, I just don't get like.
So like, you think say Kyler just ballparking like 15K a month, so then that's 30K or 45K depending on how much he's loaned for that Splyce is taking on, plus Splyce paid Envy another 50s, to get him for 2 months or whatever it is. So you're probably around 100K to get Hook for 2 months, I don't know if that's worth it.
That's
Or
not
that
a
might
smart
be.
investment. That's such a bad investment.
They wouldn't have done that. If that was, they would have bought Gunless if that was the case. I don't think they would have done that.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers can't be too huge then, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For 2
I
months,
think he's just free on a loan.
Dude, I just think it came down to this. Stro felt bad for Kyler. The man didn't win an event, or he hasn't won an event. He didn't win a map last freaking event. Stro probably just felt bad and was like, "Look, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let you go to wherever you want." And he probably picked Splyce to play with Donnie. He was probably like, "All right, I'm gonna let you go there for 2 months, and then we'll come back and build around you. I'm gonna give you a chance to win this year," and then went out from there. That's probably what happened.
That sounds the most probable.
That's the only thing that could happen. That's such a terrible move for Envy because Envy just chalked the rest of their season, threw it out the window.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's the only thing that can make sense. They're trying to keep the guy that they're gonna build their franchise around. Because Envy's already in, right? They already got one of the spots.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Envy's already got one of the spots, the Dallas Fuel or whatever.
Yeah, aren't they? They have an Overwatch team, right? So I think they're in a good spot. Yeah.
So they're probably like, all right, look, you've been, with us this long. We haven't been able to get you a winning team. We haven't been able to get you who you wanted. Because I think they've been having to go for like the second or third options a lot, and their roster changes.
No, people make this most. Bro, Kyler doesn't know how to make a good decision. He could have got me and Cell, and he didn't want to do that. He makes some stupid decisions, and that's why he got fucked over.
I mean, yeah, Kyler probably shouldn't be building his team. I agree with you there, but I don't really know what all went on because it's probably Kyler and Pat both battling for who.
Well, I'm sure there had to be behind the scenes between like the players of who they wanted and stuff too. Like I'm sure there was people not agreeing on like who they wanted to play with. Like Kyler.
Then imagine being like, dude, imagine being like Desi, Silly, or even Pat, and they're just like, yeah, we gave Kyler away. Oh, okay, do we at least get George? No.
That's what I'm saying. I know. Well, Envy did get Gunless, so like I guess I see like.
Who's gonna run a SOG?
But
they haven't even got a SOG player.
That's what I'm saying. It's very. I mean, Silly and Decimate have to run the SOGs, right?
And then they picked up a SOG, bro. They dropped.
Silly's gonna run a SOG.
I mean, Silly has to run the flex.
He's not running my SOG, bro.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like Silly's not a SOG player. Like.
Well, no, I know.
And then they picked up a Salt, who they dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
That's what I'm saying, bro. If I'm on Envy right now, I would be livid.
Yeah.
Literally, like, I'd.
Two biggest events coming up, bro, and it's chopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they'll come together and pull off a miracle because that's what it's gonna take for them to be good. But, dude, I don't know. That was like such a bad decision.
Gunless ended up there. Like they just went.
Gunless, well, Gunless
is probably had no option.
Well, Gunless is also friends with Silly. I know that, so I'm sure that was a big thing too. Like, Gunless likes teaming with people he gets along with. I know that.
But Silly was the person he set himself out for on a United back in the day.
Yeah, but I think they got.
You know
over
what I mean?
that.
Like,
yeah, but I see what you're saying.
But still, like.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I think Gunless just came down to this. He was like.
If I'm Gunless, I've lost full as well, bro. I'm thinking I'm going to Envy, get to play with Hook.
I bet you.
He's on the way out.
It was either, yo, you go to Envy and play, or you're not playing at all. I bet you that's what it was.
That could be a thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that
Oh,
that's definitely a possibility with the way
There's no
everything was going with
Pierce
them.
would
Yeah.
have wanted to go to this team.
I would have
without
been on the
Kyler.
phone to
Absolutely
Haskell if
not.
I was Gunless and say, listen, you're not letting him go anywhere.
Yeah.
Fuck
It's
that,
just
bro.
it's just weird because like obviously you said like obviously they felt bad for Kyler, maybe they want them to let him go, like he wasn't getting
They
along with his
felt bad?
team. But like you have to remember like at the end of the day people are obviously getting paid salary and doing well, and like you also have to compete against these guys. Like if I'm the owner of an org, obviously I want to make my players happy. I'm not going to try and hold them against their wills as much as I can because that's obviously mean too. But there is also the fine line of like it is a business too. I am paying you a lot of money. You have a very big contract with my organization. It's like you are making good money. I can't just give you away so my team can compete against you. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like,
You have to look out
So
for
it's-
yourself too.
so
Try to make
that's
the
like
players
it's a
happy.
weird fine line. Like there's both sides of the story. I don't. That's what. But like
If
I
that's
just feel
what
like
happened, bro,
crazy.
Haskell must have been having a really good day, bro. I feel bad for you. I want you to go and find your success somewhere else. I'll sit here, watch my team get smoked while you go win a chip. No problem. No way, bro. He's staying right there, bro, and he's going through the struggle.
Yeah.
He can go into play with Splyce.
Yeah. It's just because Splyce is a good team too. Like I think
I know.
I think this new Splyce roster is very good. They were good before. Now I think
Yeah,
they're
they're
very
great.
good. So it's like I feel like to give Kyler like to Envy, like to Splyce, and like kind of be like here's a chance of forming like a really really good team with like Donnie and Kyler and on the same team. You give Looney the weapons to obviously make a good system. It's like, and we'll take nothing in return. It was very weird to me when I saw that on Twitter. I was mind blown. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
That's
We
an
all
interesting one.
go through the struggle, bro, not just one. You go and enjoy
Well,
yourself,
like,
mate. See you on the next
It
game.
also said that Gunless was loaned to Envy, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think everything's been like a loan, by the way.
Yeah,
I
it
think
wasn't
this is-
so.
Yeah.
So Kook to Splyce and LG to Envy both have loans out. One for
Mhm.
Gunless, one for Hook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like what? I want to like. I guess Chris, you know a lot. Like, what is? Can you even talk about that or no?
Yeah, I can.
Like
I can.
how like your loan works. What a 100 Thieves pay FaZe to have you guys, and then have a contract to like keep you, or like a
So-
way to keep you, or
So all right, I'm obviously I don't know exact terms here, but from what I'm pretty sure with my situation, so I'm on 100 Thieves obviously right now. I think once the day of champs is over, like that Sunday, that last final match, I'm back on FaZe technically. I don't think I'm gonna like switch my handle and everything to FaZe, but like
Yeah.
I'm technically back under the rights of FaZe. Then there's probably gonna be a renegotiation period of like who I actually go to. You know what I mean? If they want me, if they pay for my contract, blah blah blah. But like right now, I think FaZe loaned me to 100 Thieves. I'm pretty sure 100 Thieves like pays FaZe, which pays my salary and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's how that works. So like, but other than that, I don't think they paid like any extra money for me though. I think it was so it's just like I got like loaned to 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves pays FaZe like my salary and stuff, and they pay me. So like technically, FaZe isn't really
Okay.
spending any money.
That's
I
what a
think
lot of
that's
these
how-
loans are.
Yeah, I think that's what the loan
There's
is.
a few more players that are on it. Basically, they're loaning to 100 fees paid salary.
Yeah, so
Still
I'm
under
pretty
FaZe.
sure that's how it works. But then yeah, at the end of the year, I go back and I'm probably gonna still be on 100 Thieves until negotiation processes are over. Like obviously, if the 100 Thieves doesn't want me anymore, they'll throw me back to FaZe, and then if FaZe doesn't want me, they'll sell me, or what you know what I'm saying, whatever it is.
Yeah,
or if they
whatever.
want me, whatever happens, you never know after that. Same thing with
Gotcha,
Preston.
okay.
So I think that's how it works. So. But that's why, knowing my situation, that's why the whole Kyler thing was so weird. Did they really just say, "Yo, just pay Kyler's salary, and we'll see you in a couple months"? Like that's just so.
like we'll
mind-blowing.
play against you at champs and
Well,
playoffs.
like-
and stuff?
like, Just no bullshit. Kyler's one of the most talented COD players. He's very
Dude,
like
you
he.
got Kyler and Gunless on your team right now. Like, what the hell, dude?
That's what I'm
Really
saying.
proud
so-
of
You're in a
Oswald,
good
though.
spot.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
in a
that's the
good
thing.
spot.
Probably if
I mean, my
Kyler
Pringles.
stayed on Envy, LG might not have gave them
Yeah,
Gunless.
and
You know what I mean?
I agree. I think
You think
That-
that
that's
was like
another-
hinging on that?
Yeah.
Yes,
I bet you they were
I
like, "Are you
guarantee-
Kyler? Okay, we'll give you Gunless.
yeah, I guarantee you, LG or Envy, like vice versa, was like, listen, I'll give you Gunless if you give away Kyler, because I'm not giving you Gunless if you have Kyler. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that had to be a thing, because there's no way LG. Once again, the same thing I just said about Envy. If I'm LG, I'm not giving Gunless to Envy and being like, here, Gunless and Kyler, we'll play against you all year, no worries. Like, absolutely not. You know, that just doesn't make sense. Unless you're giving me.
Well, then again,
The
I'm sat
bag.
there. Remember, I'm going to give Hook to Splyce alongside Donna, two of the most talented players. What am I expecting? Well, I'm
That's-
getting in return. I'm getting a Salt who I dropped 2 months ago. Like, I can't see that going great.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying though. I bet you it was Stro just felt bad.
I
I
don't
was like,
know.
all right,
Weird.
man. Oh, I want to keep you happy. I want you on my team next
Oh,
year. I
my
want to give you
ball.
a chance to win. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
We all
I
go
mean,
through the struggle out here, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, but
You go and enjoy yourself, mate. You go and try and win Miami and champs. We're gonna sit here and struggle. I'll see you in 2 months.
What JP just said in chat is interesting. It could have been Splyce paid LG. LG gives Envy Gunless. Envy gives Splyce Hook. Like Splyce bought out Gunless for Envy. Give them
Maybe.
Hook.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah, like I
On
don't.
loan or something.
I feel like there has to be more. I feel like there has to be more. It
not,
just.
why wouldn't a Splyce just kept gunless though?
You think they want him?
I mean, I know Danny.
He would have fit more smoothly than Kyler. I feel like, because he's a Maddox. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure they did want gunless. They would have taken gunless.
Well, I mean, Danny and Gunless get along well as teammates.
Yeah.
Like they do
I-
work well together.
I don't know. I think the roster now worked out better. You got Donny running in Maddox. He's just as good as Gunless with it. And then you've got Hook alongside Jared.
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather have Kyler too, but I feel like if Splyce went through the trouble of getting gunless, they would have just kept
Yeah,
gunless.
yeah,
You know what I
100%.
mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
Because you can make it work with Gunless very easily. He's very
Yeah.
good.
True.
So really quick, I saw a couple people talk about it in my chat before we keep going on roster changes. Is Karma running a sub? Karma, Optic Karma.
I
Is
have
that a
no
thing?
idea.
I'll
Alright.
change something.
I heard that
I don't
it's
know.
a possibility, but I have no idea.
I have no idea. I mean, I didn't think I don't know. I mean, we'll talk about that. We'll get back to that, but I have no idea. But all right,
Streaming,
Well-
let me see.
is he streaming? That's because people are saying he
I mean,
was-
what's a second SOG really in this game? Like 3 maps?
Yeah,
you know?
three maps. Yeah, that's
Well,
what I'm
maybe
saying.
he's running the main one because he runs grapple though.
I mean, if he's running main, then that's a considerable difference.
That is a huge
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
Karma,
They have
Karma's
said
flex.
before that they wanted the grapple guy to be SOG. They feel like they have.
And I'm
Grapple
sure
player, I think
Seth feels comfortable with the Maddox. You can't not feel comfortable with the Maddox. Gun's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think and the way like Seth shoots very straight in the Maddox and the way Seth plays, I think that kind of fits. You know what I'm saying? I think he can do
Agreed.
very well with that. I think it's weird because in past CODs, you see a lot of players like Seth and John and all those players. Like you think like John or Seth, and you're like, all right, sub player. You know what I'm saying? That's what you think. In this game, like depending on your style of play. Like even like someone like Zuma, even though he kind of like he figured out the SOG role and he got it down, he's good at it now, like very good at it. It's like at first I would have seen Tommy with the Maddox because like he likes to take those challenges. You know what I'm saying? Those one-on-ones, the ego challenges. He likes to take those like I'm more talented than you, fuck off kind of challenges, and that is not what you really can do with a SOG. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what Scump is very good at doing. John is the king of ego challenging. You know what I'm saying? Like. Those players are very good with those kind of weapons, regardless if it's not a sub or not. So I feel like this game. Even look at Kenny, bro. Kenny.
Him and Tommy were going
you know
through the
what I mean?
exact same struggle at the start of the game.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. Tommy, the same thing. Like, bro, look at Kenny. Kenny had the problem with the SOG. It's not because he's a bad
Yeah.
sub player. It's just because the sub players in this game are way different than they were in past. Where it's like your Maddox is almost
You
like
do that with the
a
PPSH.
Yeah, you
The
were
Maddox-
ego
Maddox
challenging.
is
with
a
it.
sub that just shoots really far. Like
Yeah.
it really is, dude.
I mean,
Like,
bro,
yeah.
Matty, you were a sub last year.
Yes, it was a PPSH. The PPSH wasn't a sub.
Because that shit was all ego challenging. Yeah,
Yeah.
you squared up with the PPSH and you were like, I'm better than you. I'm gonna take the fight
Yeah.
with like.
I was taking
why?
people off the trench glitch, bro.
Yeah,
Remember, I'll never
that's
forget
what
that.
that's what I'm saying.
Jack gun was broke.
Yeah, and that's it's just like what it is. So it's like I feel like if they do that, but if someone said Karma's still a Maddox, I don't know. I was just wondering. I wasn't saying that's what they were doing. I just have no idea. But
He's
yeah,
in tens right now. I'm waiting,
Yeah.
trying to see what he's doing. He's
Okay.
not starting.
all right. Next, so we already kind of talked about this, but do any of you guys think Envy will be good? I guess. I'm guessing. you-
Well, they can't go be any worse. They just not won a map at Anaheim, so yeah. I'd hope so.
God damn it,
So-
dude.
Yeah, I think now the
Can't get much worse. You're right. It can't.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
it
not
can't-
wrong.
gonna have-
He's not wrong.
I just
can't-
think Pat and Pierce on the same team is just a recipe for
That-
disaster. man.
They only
That
got to do
could
it for
scare
2
me.
months.
Oh,
That
the
could
two
scare
biggest
me.
events.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's plenty of time for Pat.
Wait.
Like,
yeah.
and they just picked up a guy they just dropped, who hasn't been playing in the
Oh
league.
yeah, there's another one. They picked up a guy they dropped.
They have absolutely no like.
so for failure.
They have no
bro.
speed on that team at all. They're gonna be so slow. I
They
feel
don't
like.
have a SOG. Gets better.
It seems like a recipe for disaster. I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah.
different. I mean, everyone. It's a fresh start for everybody, so who knows?
There's been teams like that who have made it work before. So
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you never know. But
Exactly.
I don't know. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at
Silly
all.
was running my SOG, bro. Just now it's chart. You can't run a SOG.
Silly was actually really good with the max at the beginning of this game too.
I know he was. He was a fryer.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. Justin's definitely underrated on that MV team like this whole year.
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
think
That's
like,
why.
Justin played
That's
well
why
with the
low
Maddox.
key, low key, he's not been dropped because they knew themselves that he's been more than good enough. He has been frying all year.
Yeah,
So
no,
Yeah.
Justin has not been a weak link by no means, in my opinion, this
Uh-huh.
year with the Maddox. I don't know how he'll fit with the
Justin's
Sog.
probably been the second best on
Yeah,
the team
Yep.
all
that's
year.
what,
I
that's
agree,
what I'm
I
saying.
agree.
Like, yeah, Justin
All
by no means has been their weak link at all. So.
I agree, bro.
I just agree with you on him running a sub. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why we dropped him in World War II. You
He's
know,
just not
I
a
think
sub
Justin's
player
a
in
good
the
player,
sense,
but I
yeah.
don't think he's a sub player.
I
he
think
got what
Justin
it's
is a great secondary AR, like very good at it.
Yep.
I think he does what he needs to do. He goes the right spots on the map for the most part. Like every time I ever played him, I've never caught myself being like, wow, like what is Justin doing? You know what I'm saying? Like I think he's very textbook. He's good, and I think like the Maddox kind of fits like that style. He's like a little bit slower of a Maddox. He's not like the entry guy, slide canceling and shit, but he does his
I mean,
thing.
I hate talking shit, but like Pat dropped a .78 and then didn't win a map and then still keeps his spot on the team. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like if we're dropping .78s consistently, like we're probably not staying on the fucking team. You know?
I mean,
like that's
well,
just simple
you,
stats.
You
know?
and well, I've never teamed with Maddie, but you and Austin have teamed with me, and Austin got the worst version of me. And like as a player, like on paper, I was fucking horrible. And then you had like obviously we had good moments together in the sense of winning, but like once my KD went below a .9, like the way I am, I felt like I was holding people back.
Yeah,
That,
That's
like,
why
you know,
Apathy
Yeah.
got dropped, bro. They just kept talking about his KD.
And like, but that's the thing. It's like I would like the way I am, and like I'm not saying this is what Pat should do. It's just the way I am. I wouldn't have even like gotten dropped. I would have dropped myself just because like I feel like I was just holding people back. But like I don't know behind the scenes. Like maybe like
Yeah.
his team was
I
just
do
not
think
going the right
Pat's
way. I don't know.
good. Like I think
Yeah,
he's a
no,
good
Pat-
player.
well-
I just think if you have Hook on the team and like you have all like you pick up Desi and Pharaoh, like you're making all these changes happen. Like if somebody's consistently performing the worst, I mean, I guess the same thing kind of on Heretics. Maybe there's something similar going on there, or even me on my team. But like I'm not dropping .75s or .78s. You know, like
Yeah.
there's a big difference between a .98 and a .78.
And
you know?
well, also someone said in my chat that Enable dropped a point in and won the event. Two different roles: an ICR / Maddox and a SOG is a whole different statistical role as well. Like we'll get into that actually. That's one of the questions.
Bro, the guy's got
But-
one thumb dropping .8s, bro. He can do whatever he wants. He should be dropping .5s, bro. Still winning chips. They're doing something right, bro. They've won the last two events. Enable can drop what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like don't get me wrong, I'm
You're
not
still
all about
doubting-
stats.
You're still doubting Enable after winning the last two events. I don't care what people have dropped, what Sam's dropped, Austin's dropped. You fucking talking bullshit.
I mean, it is true. Like, it's just Ian, but Ian's role is 100% different than what Pat does for his team. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Pat could also be
100%.
playing. Yeah, Pat could be playing like obviously a game that's really hard for him to do well because their teamwork sucks. Like, there's so much more behind the scenes. And like the way I always have been as a player, like if I was doing that poorly, like I usually get hard on myself. I probably would have just. Well, I mean, I did retire in Black Ops 3, so like I did that, but like I don't know.
Did
it's
he
weird.
run the ICR at Anaheim?
At
Or
Pat,
was
so
it Pharaoh?
well-
I thought
well,
Pharaoh
no.
ran.
Oh, who's
So-
running the Maddox?
So no, Pat ran the ICR first, and then I think him and Pharaoh had a thing where like they couldn't figure out who wanted to do it. I think Pharaoh was pulling it out or something. I don't know. And then I think he switched to a Maddox, but like still like a .78 with a Maddox, like that's once again that's not a gun that you can really afford to do that. But there can be more to it with like teamwork and all that kind of stuff in the system. It's just there's a lot more to it. I don't know. It's just but I see where you're coming from with that. Like they obviously went 0-12 in map count. Pat's been playing pretty poorly. It's like where do you see like that change happening?
Where's
The
the
whole,
line?
to be fair,
Where's the line?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anaheim, the whole team got shit on. 3 of the players in the bottom 5.
Oh yeah,
KDs,
they
so-
I mean that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
They all did get smoked.
didn't know that.
That's what I'm saying.
That
like,
changes things a lot, especially
Yeah.
when
Pretty
you
sure
know a map. Of
Tyler
course,
and-
the KD is
yeah.
gonna be trash.
That's what I
Pretty
mean.
sure
Like that's
Tyler
why I'm
also
not.
got-
Yeah, Kylie
yeah,
didn't play
pretty
well.
sure
It's not
so.
like they really contested or like contended to win a series. To be honest,
Mhm.
it's like they got 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. So it's like obviously. Like Pat's KD's not going to be that good, and that's what I mean. Their teamwork could have been off. They could have chalked it, and like you guys have been there. when you
That
chalk
had
it,
to be
it's hard.
something because they all
Yeah.
had
That's what I'm
points.
saying. That's why I'm not going to
Pat-
sit here and just throw Pat under the bus because like they all did
Sure.
get
I
shit
don't
on.
want to. I don't
Yeah.
want
Sure.
to because
Pat just needs to imagine Crim 6 on every other team. Like no bullshit. I mean,
just
I'm not
create a
even
crib
kidding.
6 and put him.
Yeah, like figure out how to mentally imagine Crim sitting across the stage from you at all moments. Because for some reason, when he plays against him, he's actually competent. He plays the game well, but like I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I don't
mean,
watch enough of him to know for
That's
sure.
what I'm saying.
either.
It's very hard to
it's all
speculate
just
from
kind of-
outside in. Yeah, this
speculation,
is
you
all
know?
speculation. I mean, you guys have been on teams where you guys kind of chalked it, and then like if you chalk it, you don't give a fuck if you drop a .2 or a 1.2. You know what I'm saying? At that point, you're like, this team's over. We're not going to be a team after this event. I don't care how I play. That's not a good attitude to have, but that could have easily been a thing too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
Like,
sure.
so it's like it really isn't just about that. It's just very weird. I don't know, but yeah, there is a line though at the same time. But I mean, Envy was in the same exact spot last year, kind of a little bit better last year than this year. They didn't go 0-12, but they were kind of trash, and then they came out and fucking won. Like EG.
We
So
can't
it's
really
like,
disrespect champs.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
They're not.
So
Yeah, fair play.
we'll see. I mean, people were saying the same shit.
That Envy team
last year.
not that Envy team at Champs. What did they come top 4 or something? I don't want to hear it, bro. They had the freeze whenever.
Oh, I mean,
Remember
once
outside
again-
side of the bracket, Clay?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
remember-
god, bro!
I do
Don't-
remember that side of the
Bro,
bracket.
you was playing Ghost for top 4 or something, bro. It was literally the freest. I was playing LG for top 12.
Yeah, no, you guys had a tough bracket. That's what I'm saying. So we'll see. I think their team is a huge question mark. I don't know. They don't have like a lot of solid players. They
Can't
I don't
ever
know,
count out
they're
Pierce
weird.
though. So
But
Yeah,
I mean, but then
real.
again, Pierce is also very fucking good. And like for the months that he's on the team, as long as they don't have clashes of attitudes and stuff like that, I
Yeah.
think they once again they can make it fucking work. You never know.
He gets in his
There's-
element, bro. He's
weird-
capable
yeah.
of doing that.
Yeah, weirder shit has happened. So we'll
He
see.
was doing it at Vegas. He was doing it all at Vegas. So
Yeah, we'll see. So all right, move on. So this one's weird. This one I kind of like in the sense of I don't know about like this game, but I like seeing like newer players kind of get picked up on teams with like big names. I like seeing like chances given. That's always been up my alley. That's just because I'm just how I've always been. But LG has Formal, Slacked, John, and now they have Brack and Skies. What do you think, Clay? Start with you.
I
What do you
think if Brack and Skies can keep it up, that team is top contender immediately. I mean, if Brack and Skies have been playing, like, I guess not Brack on that units team, but like Brack on his teams before, and Skies and how he's been playing on Elevate was the team,
Yeah.
I think. If they keep that level of play up in the system that LG has,
yeah,
with those 3 players, I think they're going to be filthy. Like, absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. What do you think, Austin?
I think they need to get a system. That's
Yeah,
the thing with
alright.
LG.
So
They
you're
don't
gonna-
have a system.
You're gonna
They
agree
just-
with what I say, yeah.
Yeah. So if they could figure something out, get some teamwork going, they could probably be pretty good. Like I said, if they really figured out good teamwork, they could, challenge for event wins.
What do you
But-
think, Maddie?
to be brutally honest with you, bro, their sub duo is one of the weakest of what we've seen this year. I think no word of lie. John was just as bad as Nick. That's a fact. He's been arse all year, so I think it comes down to them two. Slack didn't like running the SOG. He changed to the Maddox. Now he's had to change back. So if them two get shit on, bro, it's looking pretty slow.
Yeah. So
But like you said, they have such like farmers running the Maddox
yeah,
and
it's weird.
alongside Brack. It could go well. It could go really bad. I think it depends on the two players running the SOG.
I definitely agree. I mean, my thing with them is kind of like what Austin said, and I feel like even with their old team, like regardless of how they won the one event they won, like with this, like they won a lot of game 5s and stuff. Like they didn't look like a dominant team there. Like they still won. You can never take it away from them, of course. But like they weren't like a super squad like they should be. It's just like they never like every time you watch them play, like they make the game very hard on themselves. They make it extremely hard for any of them to really like shine. You know what I mean? Like that's like kind of been their thing. Like I don't think Nick is as bad as he was on LG. He was not playing well. I'm not going to defend that. You know what I'm saying? Like you obviously, and same thing with John. Like I know how fucking good John is. Everyone does. Austin, you won a world championship.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like John is a fucking monster. It's just he hasn't really been playing to like the John that we like love to see.
He's been getting well started all year, bro.
I
I'm
just
gonna
don't
throw
think
it out
they
there.
have. I just don't think they have a good idea on how to play the game together.
But that's the thing.
It's
It's like
simple as
I
that,
feel
like-
like in this game, if you're not ahead of the game and playing, if you're playing from behind all the time, dude, it is fucking hard to do good. And I don't think like that old team could just get on the same page and like we were talking about in the beginning of the cast, like. Are we going front? Or are we going back? Are we forming a pinch? Or are we doing this? Like, there's just so much shit you can do, and like they weren't agreeing on anything from what it looked like, of course, and they sucked. And that's the
And
fucking
now
honest
they
truth,
have a
sucked.
new team. Like
Now they have a
granted,
new team.
maybe better players, but I mean their old team had like the best players you could
They
get
should-
in like a 5-man team, and they have less time to figure it out.
They shouldn't have dropped
Oh.
J-Cap, bro.
But yeah, I see. Like, I think JCap could have helped their team out
100%.
tremendously because I think JCap is like a player in the forming the system to getting people to listen to him. I think the one thing that they had a problem with is just getting on the same page. And like John hasn't been playing that well this year, and it's all because like I feel like they just make the game super hard on themselves. And I
Yeah.
think with Brack and Skies on it, they could add new blood And maybe like the other players were kind of like, obviously I'm pretty sure Pierce was butting heads with them, so like they probably had issues there. So maybe them not butting heads, maybe they do form a system. Jerry's a very smart COD player. You guys know
Yeah,
Jerry for
I
a long
agree.
time. He knows how to
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
play. So like maybe they do get on that system finally. I don't know. This team has a talent, but so did the old LG. So like it's very weird to say. I don't know.
Probably
What
the
do you-
most
what-
stacked roster coming into this game.
Yeah, it's very weird. What were you gonna say, Clay?
Oh yeah, I think if like I think Skies and Brack have pretty good understandings of how to play the game if you look at their
Mhm.
past teams and how well they've done with how little they've had.
Yeah.
So I think that those two do understand how to play this game, and them being like the younger kids, I'm interested to see if they're able to like get a word in or feel comfortable telling the other three like, yo, you guys are doing this wrong, like we need to do it this way. Like I'm curious how that dynamic's going to be, or if they're just going to be like, we're going to do whatever you guys tell us, or if they're going to try and like take, like Brack be like, hey, on my midnight team we do this, and you know, Skies be like, on my Elevate team we did this in S&D or this, because like I think that Elevate team was one of the better S&D teams in the game before they split up. So I think, you know, if they step in and are able to, like, I guess not be intimidated, I guess is what I'm looking for. I think that it'll work a lot better.
I actually like what you just said about the hey, on this team I did this and on this team I did that. That's actually one thing in AW when we teamed Clay, where like you came from Envy, we had Denial, like Cap came from Envy with you at the time, and it was like, okay, what were you good at? What were we good at? And let's like make it together. And you were like, well, on this Envy we used to do this and this was our best map. And I was like, well, on this map we did, you know what I'm saying? Like we did a lot of that, and like that made us really fucking good. You know what I'm saying? Like that was actually a big reason of why like sometimes you learn the game if you team with like the same players from the day one of the game. You learn the team with that game, like you learn the game with that team, and then that's all you know. You know what I'm saying? That's all you know. And then like when you change, you can think you're on the same wavelength as other players, but like then you like actually get into a team scrim and they're like, no, like on this hill, like I like to do this and this is how we should break it, blah blah blah, and like you're like, wait, that's not how my team did it at all. You know what I mean? So it's like that could be. It depends how much Bracket Skies actually know. You know, like maybe like if they're actually intelligent players, which they come off to be, you know what I mean? They seem like they are. I don't really know either of them like super well enough to like say it, but like they seem like when I talk to them, they have their heads on straight. They know what they're doing from what it seems. That actually could be a good thing. Now it depends. Do players like Formal, John, and Slack listen to that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's also another thing. It's like there's a lot to go into that team. They have the talent, in my opinion. They had the talent before. I'm curious to see with some like fresh blood, like how they do, and like see like what goes on.
Damon is running a SOG, by the way.
So okay, you bring that up. Someone in my
Anytime.
chat said that he actually answered the question yes to him running the second SOG and having Seth run a Maddox to actually make him more comfortable. Apparently that's like an actual thing.
Wait, so is Tej gonna be their main SOG on every map?
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
If he's
probably.
running the second, then yeah.
Maybe they're doing like how like Preston runs the grapple flex kind of thing. Maybe they're doing something
Yeah.
like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's interesting. Not doubting the decision because
They needed to change something in respawns.
yeah, I mean they've still played really well. Their respawns obviously were not super dominant. Obviously, I think you guys did you guys beat them in the hard points, Maddie, when you played them?
3 out of
Like-
4, yeah, we
Yeah,
smoked
3
him
out of
for
4.
90
That's what I'm
point
saying, so, like,
I don't think so.
I can
They need to
definitely
change
see.
something.
Yeah, I can definitely see like where they're coming from with the change. They're obviously still a really good team. I'm actually curious to see how that works for them. I mean, I think Damon running the flex. I think this will help Scump out a lot. I don't think Scump was costing them by no means. I saw some shit on the Reddit. I mean, the Reddit's not
Yeah,
always the best.
he was frying, but when I see not a lustful, like people are
Yeah.
expecting these SOG players to drop 1.4.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Reddit's not the most I guess correct way to critique gameplay. And like I saw a lot of people giving Seth shit on the Reddit as they gave Kenny a lot of shit. Other players too all the time, but it's not like Scump was not costing them by having a .9. Like bro, like running a SOG in this game,
He was frying.
you're not going to drop.
Won that
like
1v1 against
1.3.
Celts, which they can further in winners.
Yeah, that's what I'm
He did
saying.
So many things to that team.
But with that being said, I do think Scump with the Maddox and being comfortable the way he plays, I think is going to be really good. We were talking about it a little before, and I know there's a few players in my chat. Zuma was in here. We were talking about John and those kind of players. I think players that like to straight up take challenges and that are fucking talented, period. Like Scump is talented, period. Like him running a Maddox and being able to play that slower role and like actually go for gunfights and not throw as many shoulders and kind of be a little bit more baity. I think that helps Seth a lot. I really do. I think it will help him. I think just like it helped Kenny out. Like Kenny, I mean Kenny's a fucking animal now. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it will be the same thing for Scump. I think Scump will get much better. I don't know if their system will change and like the pacing will change. I don't really know that much about their team, honestly, but
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
more than that though, because their problem wasn't getting kills.
That's true too.
You know what I mean?
That
Like
is true.
the map they beat us in frequency, they
smoked
outslayed
us.
us by
Yeah.
30 kills and won by 20 points.
That's what that was.
There's
the
a
kill
bigger
record, right?
issue there if you're outslaying by 30 and
Yeah.
barely winning. We could have won that game had we won a couple more gunfights.
Yeah, a few
That is
different things
absurd.
go
It
your
should
way.
not even get to the point where you're outslaying by 30. The game should have been over when you're up by 20 kills.
Yeah, and that's why
30,
that's why I'm saying maybe it helps their pacing. Maybe that there's more. I don't know their specific actual problem with their team, so I don't know. What do you think, Clay? You're quiet over there.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that I don't like to talk about that Optic team, dude. I just I'm more into hate, dude. I don't have anything to say about that team. I hope whatever they do works. I've learned my lesson, bro.
I like that approach. I like that approach. I mean,
Just say one thing about Scum, bro. The chat's gonna go mad.
I mean, I just
think
defended Scum,
specialist
so.
usage could be better.
You always, to be fair, you always
clip it. Clip
Teep,
it.
to be fair, no. Teep's always moaning about that. Teep always moans at that. Teep would admit to that.
Yeah, I mean,
After every series, you see him moaning about it.
yeah, I mean, every team obviously can get a little better. Even like when we were doing well, like before Anaheim. I mean, we used to roast Preston every fucking day because that guy couldn't hit a grab slam to save his life.
Wait, you know the funniest thing about that, Chris, is me and you were roasting him about that forever, and he never got better with it. We stopped bringing it up, and now he's the best grab slammer.
Yeah, I think us just yelling at him
Pressure,
got
dude.
into his head. Yeah,
Like what?
bro,
I'm not saying shit to Preston about his grab slam ever again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like we had that issue. Everyone has that issue. So it's like, I mean, I don't know. I think that team was obviously really good before. I'm curious to see. Maybe it helps them. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But that's something that you have to let play out. They were too good of a team anyway to like what Clay, what you're saying. Like you can't hate on Optic. They're just good.
Yeah, facts.
Like it's like what you're saying is like you just can't hate on them. They're a good fucking team. Period. Like regardless if they've won 6 times, 1 time, 2 times, like they're just a good team, and that really comes down to it. Ask Skrapz about. All right, fine. Skrapz. What about phases search and destroy? So like basically like.
I don't even know, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know because three times this weekend, bro. We went up 4-0 and lose 6-4. I don't know. Against Optic that last map, we went up 2-0, didn't win another round. We go up 4-2, don't win a round. I don't know, bro. We have to adjust a few things, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start running around like a chicken, I guess. I don't know. I literally don't know.
I mean, to give you the positive side of that, I mean, the fact you're going up 4-0 means you're.
Yeah,
doing
it's not
something
like
right.
we're
You
just
just
shit
have to
at
figure
S&D
it out,
because, like I said, majority of the S&Ds we're going up like 4-1, 4-0, 4-2, and we're just losing. Everything's just hitting the fan, and we don't win another round. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we were terrible. Quote
And
unquote,
Ben just put in the chat. Every search went 3-0. So I don't know.
Everyone said we were the worst search and destroy team. We had the best first blood percentage.
That's what I'm saying,
I was
and
like,
we
bro,
knew our
we're
issues.
gonna figure that out. Like
that's
what we keep saying.
You're not going in there and just getting smoked. You know what I'm saying? That's the best part about it.
Hard point control is disgusting.
Yeah, so that's definitely not bad. All right, let's run through a few more of these changes. We'll talk about some questions and we can call it. I don't want to hold you guys here forever. But this is a weird change. Maddie, I'm going to you on this one. You know a lot more about these kind of guys than I do. Rated and Joe picked up Cammy, Nilsson, and Weeman. Please explain to me. Is that a good or bad move? I don't know anything. I can't.
I haven't seen much of the 3 new guys. I don't know. At one point, Joe was saying he was gonna quit. Joe said he was gonna quit when me and Trey left, and then at Anaheim he was saying he don't know what he wants to do. And then there was a rumor that him and Ben were dropping Reese, and they were building a team. And then this has happened. I don't know what it's gonna turn out like. I don't know how they're gonna scrim for starters. They haven't got an org. They've got 3 players in the UK. Joe and Reese are in Rex house in Vegas, so. I can't see it go. I hope it works out for him because I've played with them guys before, but I can't see it going too well, to be honest.
What is Bance doing now?
Quitting, I think.
He's quitting?
So Bance is
quitting.
quitting.
He said he was quitting.
So Bance is done.
Wow.
He couldn't get a team.
But did Bance get dropped off of that team, or did he just quit off?
Yeah, he got dropped.
Okay. Damn, that's crazy because I love Bance. I think Bance is good too. I just feel like he's had an unfortunate series of events.
You know, for that roster move, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but like I've never heard of Cammy in my life, and I've been playing COD for a decade, you know, and so like if that's an issue, for sure. I hope he's good. I hope the team works out, but Too many question marks.
Was wait, all right. So correct me if I'm wrong. Was Cammy at the PLQ? Was he on?
Yeah.
Was he
He's
on?
playing with Sonny B in that.
Was he on? Was Endura on that team? Was that the team?
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure I played against him. I don't want to like be wrong when I say this,
Pull this up.
but I don't know. I mean, Nolson played pretty well with Splyce. I don't know enough about these players to really like go in my like typical like analysis on it. I mean, I'm curious to see. This has been a team that's been struggling all year, so we'll kind of see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see like if this change kind of figures it out. I know Wee Man was on Team Sween.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
him.
I know
So
Wee Man and
Wee
Nolson.
Man.
You know,
yeah, I know those two.
guys.
And like Nolson was playing pretty well at Splyce. I mean, we'll see. I think it'll be interesting. I don't really have much to say about them though. And then we can also talk about the E6 change. This change I actually kind of like.
Yeah, same.
I actually kind of like this change. Brezzy and Mayhem join with Adam, so GodRx, General, and Kismet. So Brezzy and Mayhem join them, and now I think this is good. I honestly do. I think this I think this is pretty good. I think GodRx. I don't know if he's watching or anything, but I think GodRx is fucking nasty. I really do. I don't know him well enough to say he's a smart player. I don't know if he's a good teammate. I've heard good things about him. I don't know that much about him, but when I watch him play, and I've played against him forever, he's a good player. I'm surprised it took him this long to kind of get in the league. I honestly thought I thought he's better than a lot of people for
Teamed
a
with
good
Haggy
amount.
too long, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think he's pretty freaking good. I mean, maybe that's what it is. Honestly, that could be what it is. Like I'm not sure. I think Adam's nasty, and I think General's a pretty solid AR. We all know General. You know what I'm saying? We've known him for a while now. I think Kismet's very good at this game. He's very passionate. He's very confident, as we all know from his tweets.
Passionate.
Yeah. And then we have Brezzy and Mayhem. I think Brezzy's really good at this game.
I don't understand how E6 gets their best placing all year, top 6 placing, and drops 2 of their team.
I don't agree with the change.
So that top 6 placing, like, they weren't.
I
that
agree with
great.
it. I agree.
They weren't that good before that 6. Like they were struggling.
GodRx isn't going to drop another 1.4, and General's definitely not going to drop another 1.2. So I agree with the change. I don't think that Jet Li is that good.
This is the same thing that happened a couple months ago. They got 6th with the team.
It was
with
contract
Chino on
issues.
it.
I heard Chino didn't want to sign a contract.
Yeah,
it
was, but still, they made a team change and they fell off for a while, for a long time.
I think
I
they'll
like
get a lot
Frosty. I like Frosty.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But I think replacing Jet Li with that Breezer.
Yeah, Jet Li for Brezzy, great play. But I want to know what the politics were.
Was huge.
So yeah,
I don't
the
agree with
two-person
dropping
change
Froster.
is definitely crazy. I mean, I think Frosty's probably a great teammate from what I could kind of predict. He seems like a super chill dude. I love the guy every time I talk to him, and I think he's been getting gradually better over the time. Like he's obviously very new. I think Brezzy for Jet Li was a little bit better. Of a change.
Mayhem was really good at the start of the game, but
I
last
think
few months I've
Mayhem's
not
pretty
seen
good.
him.
So
I
I
haven't seen
think
him.
that's why I don't
I
think
could
it's
agree
terrible.
more for a 1-for-1 trade, but I feel like changing 2 is just I feel like they're gonna dip off again.
I'm with you on
see.
that.
And
We'll
I
see.
feel like they were so good that weekend. Like they could have been. Who did they lose to in winners? GenG.
Us, we failed
They
him.
were-
Yeah, they lost to
Winners?
GenG in winners and then lost to FaZe and losers.
No, yeah, they lost to
Oh,
GenG in
yeah, yeah,
winners
you're
for
right.
top 3, game 5. Like, dude,
It could have been a winners finals.
that's the best E6 has ever looked since like IW when they were like first coming up and they got like third.
Cali
one.
tournament.
So
Yeah.
it's not like I don't know. I just don't. Maybe 1-for-1 that Brezzy guy or just pick up Mayhem, but I feel like 2 people like.
Breezy for Jet Li was a
I'm
great
afraid
change.
that the team's gonna dip off again, like they did last time.
That
Yeah.
Brezzy is disgusting. When we
Yeah,
played,
I
That's
agree.
why. Well, that's
No,
why I
I
like
haven't
this
even
change.
play, dude. There was a couple times in the S&D where this guy like deleted me so fast that I was like, I need a new PlayStation. Like I need something changed here. Like something's going. I need a new Ethernet cable. Like something's going on here. Like the guy is filthy, and I think if he works as well as he did, and how he has been, I think he's playing that well. I think they'll be good. But I think what everyone else says, man. I
It's
don't
just
think
they're
the 2
pressed
for
for
2.
time.
Yeah.
They're
I
pressed.
just want to close some up in your chat. People are putting Saber Touch. Dylan had the choice to play with us, but decided to play with EG, so it's Dylan's own fault.
Oh, there you go.
Everybody putting in the chat.
There you go. That's the intel you could. Yeah, no one else could tell you other than Maddie or anyone from the FaZe thing.
Yep.
So yeah. So it's more like I guess my
Does Jet Li
biggest
have a
thing-
team?
No, I don't think
No.
so.
Oh, that's tragic.
With that, which I feel bad for because I feel like I mean, I don't know anything about Jet Li, so I really can't
Does
say. but, like,
Parzellian have a team?
I feel like he put a lot of work into it. Parzellian, I haven't
No,
heard anything.
them two LF2, LF3.
They left out. Those are the people that got left out.
Yeah,
That's
so
okay.
look,
I
we
think
tweeted out before.
I think Pars is a pretty good AR. Like the Jet Li and Pars are teaming in open bracket. That's a shame because
And
they're
to
good
go
players.
from the midnight team to then now going into the last two events
Well,
and not being that's so tragic.
I wish I knew like the full behind the scenes story with that midnight team because them breaking up was so ass backwards. But I feel like that had to be something with the orgs and shit, right? Wasn't there like a
Yeah, that's all work
that's,
shit.
yeah,
Let's not get into that, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not getting into that because I don't know that. But yeah. So, all right. Yeah, no, I like Brezzy, Mayhem, and Frosty. Like, I think Mayhem's actually pretty good at this game. I think Frosty's pretty good at this game. I would have loved to see Frosty stay on E6. I don't know the behind-the-scenes stories, but I do like Brezzy. Even though I'm not, like, sitting here saying I don't think Jet Li's bad. Like, I don't know much about him. I thought he did pretty well. He worked hard. He's been doing his thing. But I think Brezzy's really good. I really do. I feel like when I watch that Elevate team play, my two guys, and no disrespect to anyone on their teams because I know Profizi does a lot. He's a very fast player. He's very impactful on the map. He's annoying to play against. I've played against him. And like I think he does a lot for the team, but you would see Skies doing very well, and you'd see Brezzy winning a lot of important gunfights. And I think that being on E6 was super helpful. I think
Emery's just bum cheeks. Every time we watch them. Oh,
come on, man.
Carry on, bro. I'm just being honest. Just being honest,
no,
bro.
I mean that's literally the reason why I had you on, because you're honest. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want on this.
So then, where did Frosty go again?
So,
did we discuss that already?
So I'm about to. The next one is midnight.
Honest, and Paz bum cheeks too.
Let it all out. So then we'll talk about midnight. So their new team, Clay, is Royalty, Frosty, and Zapdos.
Here we go.
They join up with Parasite and Llama God.
Oh my god! I forgot about this roster. Carry on talking, bro.
Wait, should start this one off then.
Yeah,
you gotta start it off after that. You gotta start it.
You can talk about this team. I don't even need to say anything. What's the team again?
It's Royalty, Frosty, Zapdos, Parasite, and Llama God.
Oh my god! Honestly, God, I don't think it could get any worse.
Oh my god.
All right, well.
That is a scraping team there. That is just everyone on that team's been dropped and just put together.
That is true. I mean, I think Royalty got dropped.
He's been dropped twice.
Wait, did UIU drop Zapdos? Yeah, they had to have, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. I think Zap's pretty good, but I mean, I haven't really seen much about him. But I don't know. This is gonna be an interesting team, just because.
Parasite was tweeting about how he switched to Claw and he's been frying. The guy's dropping .7s, bro. That Claw change back, bro. Claw ain't doing shit for you.
Oh my god.
This Claw game's not for you.
Oh,
yeah. I'm just being honest, bro.
No,
they ain't getting any better than top 16. Facts.
I mean, they will.
It's true, isn't it?
I mean, come on, there's something there, right?
What's there? Llama God dropping a 50 bomb on you. There's nothing there, bro. I mean, best of luck. Don't get it twisted. I have nothing but the best for him, mate. Fair play, like they're in the league. Yeah. But everyone's been dropped on that roster, so I can't see them doing that good.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I will agree with Matt, not as harshly. I do think like this team won't be like, I don't think this team's gonna be winning championships. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I mean, I've seen crazier things happen. I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be a very weird team, but I mean, Haggy has a lot of young talent. I mean, will he get them to like play the system he wants? That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like, I personally don't see this team working out very well. Personally.
What happened to Lacefield?
I don't think him and Haggy get along very well. Him and Chris.
Is he on a team?
I haven't seen him. No.
Oh, maybe he's on that.
What team?
Oh, Elevate needs a team, right?
Because
he's got to be on Elevate then, right?
Elevate needs a whole team.
Oh yeah. So they have to now.
Honestly, these teams are getting worse.
Wait, so yeah, Elevate? So Elevate's a rumor. Okay, yeah.
What's the Elevate rumored roster?
So yeah, chat. What's the Elevate rumored roster? I'll see if I see.
It's gonna get even worse. Oh my god, let me see this. Go on.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like so many of these rosters were just like that ass. They were just like, oh, we got 3 days. Let's just
like, you available?
Yeah.
You want a team? You want a team? All right, let's go. Come on, team. You can join my team. You go to that team. Like
it was it was like the bottom half of the teams in the league just switching about with each other, in my opinion.
So
I do feel like one of these random teams though that we all think is just gonna be
good.
Well,
I hope they are, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
one of them will be decent.
I'm not. Yeah, that's why like I don't want to go out and say like I don't think Chris can put it together with these guys. He did have dashes last year. He had people last year and it didn't work. So it's like obviously odds are against him, and I hope like he proves it wrong because I love like seeing that story. But I mean, yeah, I definitely this is probably the roster that I have the least faith in, but we'll see. Obviously, we don't really know.
I didn't even know this was a team.
But yeah, so the Elevate is Believe, Lacefield, Profeezy, Emerwees, and Whalers. So is
I feel like that's good. They picked up
Believe in
Believe and they picked
Lacefield.
up Lace.
I think
to add to
Lacefield
the
is
Elevate
good.
team.
I think he has a lot of talent.
I'm going for away.
I know. Enjoy. I know. I think Lacefield's good. I know. I don't know. I mean, I just feel
It's
like,
the same kind of thing as this last team, the
yeah,
Midnight team.
like
It's like-
I think they're gonna have a lot to work with. I think they just lost their two best players. I think Skies and Brezzy were very good. I think that's gonna hurt them a lot.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about Believe as like an individual player. I mean, he's obviously had his moments, but I don't think he's better than Skies in my opinion. Like I think Skies are pretty good,
Definitely
and I think Brezzy's really good. So I don't know. I do think Lacefield's good, and I think I'm happy to see him and Chris split because I don't know if this is a thing, but all I've ever heard are rumors about how they don't really get along in game, not out of game.
I'm pretty
but-
sure that's a thing.
So
I'm pretty sure you're
yeah,
right.
so I don't like. I'm just happy to see them kind of split. I think Lacefield's really good. I think they're better off without each other. I know they team a lot together. I think they're better off without each other. So hopefully Lacefield does his thing, does really well, and I think he will. You know what I'm saying? Like show that he is good because I mean everyone kind of knows that, but maybe people are on the fence right now. And I think with this Elevate team, I just think they lost their two best players, so they have a very they have a very high uphill battle. You know, they have a lot to work on, and they don't have a lot of time, so it'll be weird.
Telling you though, one of these teams is probably gonna
No,
put it together.
I agree,
One
and
of these
I
top
random
6
teams
or
is
something.
probably gonna be decent.
I hope one of these teams does put it together, and they use this podcast to like come back to and be like, you're like, how
yeah.
like 100
If-
Thieves
I
did, and
hope-
like
I hope
prove
so.
wrong. I would love to see that because that's awesome as well. But like right now I think that's gonna be a team that has a lot. To learn.
I'm just having banter,
But-
but banter
Yeah.
aside, I hope it works out for every
Yeah.
team that's been put together, and I hope it works out. I'm just having
Some
fun with
teams
it.
got to get last place, right?
Yeah, for real. And then
Of course.
if I'm in losers, for example, if I'm in losers, bro, playing for top 8, and my team's matching up against, for example, one of them two teams, I ain't losing. Seriously.
Dude,
I
you're setting
hope-
yourself up, bro.
I hope it all works out for him.
Bro, Trey was in my chat.
Cue
He,
the Curb
he,
Your
he
Enthusiasm
said,
music.
bro, he
I
literally
hope
said
it all works
Maddie
out.
brings all the bad juju.
This is just honesty, bro. There's no juju.
No,
here.
I know. Dude, I agree. I don't believe.
I
in
get what
juju.
you're saying.
Juju's
in
not a
essence.
thing, bro.
Yeah,
You're good.
I don't.
Juju's
I don't believe in juju either.
Bro, if
so.
I'm getting juju for calling Elevate dog shit, then fucking hell, that's not. That if I come top 16 at Chomps and I think back, oh my god, I called Elevate shit. I just come top 6. I'm gonna be. If somebody said that to me, bro, I'm smacking them. Literally. You just come top 16 for saying Elevate a dog shit.
That's
Oh, bro.
that,
Top
like,
16 because I got world starred.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't believe in juju either. Like even like shooting bodies and stuff. Like I think.
Nah,
if you
I
can
don't do
handle
any
it-
of that, bro, because I've done that before.
No,
and it's bit me in the ass.
I know, but I don't think it's because you shot bodies. It's because like I feel like a lot of people get nervous after they shoot bodies. That's the difference. I don't think it's an actual, like I think people are just bitch made when it comes to that. To be honest, like if I'm shooting your body, like I've never really been a player to do that, but like that's never got in my head like either way around. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, if Chris is shooting your body, something's going wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I've never been the player to do that. But like, it's just like in general, like it's just that's something that I've never really like. That if you shoot bodies and you let it affect you, you just shouldn't be shooting bodies. Like I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like that just makes sense.
So I
But-
hope it all works out. I think, but outside of elevating UYU, I think the rest of the roster changes, they have a pretty good chance at beating a few of these teams and making some upsets.
Yeah,
I hope
can
the other
see
two do, but there's just been people that have been dropped and put together, so there's no hope there in my opinion. I hope it works out. Like I said, both teams are full of passion and people want it. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's I'm not wishing poorly. I just don't see.
Yeah,
these
for sure.
I see these rosters having a very just uphill battle. They have a lot to learn.
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
time.
Little
They
amount of
lost.
time, like
They
Austin's
lost.
been bringing up,
They
dude.
lost a
Like,
lot of heavy hitters on their slay. You know what I'm saying? Slayers and all that stuff. So we'll see.
It's also
agree.
such a big moment for so many of these players with franchising coming up. They have to
Franchising,
literally
yeah.
play well to secure a
Well,
spot in the league next year.
Now, so you're gonna love this. So I'm gonna transition it. So we talked about the roster changes and what Austin just said. So Mama Zuma, she tweeted me. I had a bunch of tweets tweet me, and she was like one of the first ones. and she wanted to talk about like KD. And so basically, Austin, what you just said, this is a big moment, right? There's just been a talk on Twitter about how we've been outslated and won, how people outslay and lose, like yada yada yada. And she was basically saying like a question about kill death ratio and why it doesn't show like the full thing. Like some players have good KDs, but like realistically, they're not that fucking good in the sense of like they kind of hurt the team. Vice versa, some people have .8s and they're actually kind of super important. Maybe they could be a little bit better, but like at the same time, like they're not. So it's like with this franchising coming up, now I'm gonna ask this before you kind of answer the question that Mama Zuma said. With this question coming up, this is a big moment. What you just said, Austin, right? There's very big opportunity in franchising. You want to have that 1.3 because if you have that 1.3, you're getting picked up next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, just period.
If you're a top 5 KD at champs, you're getting picked up.
Yeah, and like maybe you suck or maybe you don't. If you do it, someone's gonna pick you up. It's the nature of the business. Obviously, some know COD a little bit more than others, and they would see like through it. Some won't. And with that being said, this big moment, do you think some players will kill whore and go for it? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you like? That's what I'm saying. Like, do you
They
think
probably
that's the
will.
thing?
No, they probably will. But the thing is I don't like. Well, I'm different than most people. You have to have a high KD and a high placing. If you had a 1.3 and got top 16 like EG,
Yeah, that's what I was
I
thinking.
could not
Yeah,
care.
that's
You know
what
what I mean?
That's
And
a
I
great point.
also do think a lot of people don't realize it. In my opinion, KD has it means the least in this current game we're playing.
For sure.
Like the least by far. I look at KDs and I go watch people play and I'm just like, yeah, you had a 1.3, cool, but look what you're doing. Like you're literally letting all your teammates slide in first. You're doing it like, bro, like KD means the least right now by far. It's not even close. I look at the damage tab before I look at KD.
Damage and
I don't even know
score
if
even
that's
sometimes,
yeah,
dude.
like so people might kill her, but if you get last with the number 1 KD, cool. You're probably still not getting picked up. So
Yeah.
you have to be playing the game the right way and put up stats.
And that's like I feel like that's a thing that like players don't understand. I mean, I feel like this is more of an amateur thing, and we can kind of talk about that. I actually, Clay, I'll bring it up a little bit later, but you'll laugh about it. But like yeah, I just feel like so to answer the KD question from my point of view, real quick. So real quick to what you were saying, Austin. But like say Sam, we'll use our team hypothetically, just so I'm not calling anyone out. But like Sam's our ICR. If he has a .8. Is that different? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your opinion on that?
No, there's a problem there.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So
obviously.
like, there is a line to where KD means like you can't have your ICR doing that. Like there are players that are supposed to put up higher KDs and lower KDs, like depending on their roles. Like your ICR has it a little bit easier, just to be flat out
I genuinely
honest.
think if you can hover around a 1, which means you go 1 for 1 every gunfight, like you get 1 and then you die, you're doing your job. You got
Yeah.
1, you
I
know,
agree with that.
you opened up whatever that kill is. If you hover around a 1, you're doing your job. I think as soon as you start, like, even if you get to 1.2, that's not doing as much for you as having a .8 sucks for your team. You know, like when you're consistently dying like that and not going 1 for 1 and just like having your team have to fight 4v5, that's when it's an issue.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing where it's just a lot of people see like the .8 thing, and like it depends on your role, and depends on if you're an ICR, if you're a Maddox. Like if you have a Maddox and you're dropping a .65, you're getting shit on. You know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, if you're a Maddox and you're dropping a .65 and your excuse is like I'm sliding in first every time, like I'm baiting, it's like you need to slow the fuck down sometimes, depending obviously on the like
You're playing the game wrong.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So there are so many different ways to go about it. I think like KD doesn't show it all at all. I think
It doesn't. That's why when people give Joe steak, I tell him to shut up. I hold him highly. Like last year, our red
people
team, me, Reese,
roasted
and
him all the
Trey,
time.
he
Yeah.
held us together. If we didn't have Joe in that team, we wouldn't have been the team we was.
I mean,
Facts.
I had that role with our phase team. I had some bad events. I had some good events last year,
If
but
we
I
didn't
feel
have
like
Joe,
I did a lot
we
more
wouldn't
than
we
that.
wouldn't have been as good as we was.
Yeah, and I agree. I think I think enables that guy for us. Like Ian does not put up 1.2s with the SOG. He doesn't do it. But like that's first of all, if he was doing that, someone on our team's getting shit on, which is an issue. But like second of all, like dude, Ian's going in first, and like the whole dragging auto aim thing is a thing. Like he goes in first in front of Sam, he takes one down, and then Sam gets the kill. Like you know what I'm saying? Like having that guy that is selfless enough to actually genuinely
Wait,
not
what did
care
Ian-
is huge.
You know what Ian had at the last event? I'm curious.
I mean, to be fair,
Oh, like a .8, .9.
I don't look at stats, but I think it was around like a .89. If I could,
not look at him.
I don't look at stats because like when I view our losses, like I don't want to be like, oh well, this guy got shit on. I usually like to look at like the mini map and like actually.
Yeah, I
see
mean,
it.
and it
And,
comes
like-
into the system too. I mean, if
Yeah.
somebody's dropping a .8, but every single time they're setting up a bait and then like going and getting somebody weak, dying, and then a 2-piece happens every time. That's a lot different of a .8 than if an ICR is running a .8 and it's just like dying while he's getting baited for. You know, like somebody slides in, pops a 2-piece, and he just runs in and dies. Like that's a lot different of a .8. You know, and people just
Yeah.
see .8 and that's it. But it's like a lot different.
There's the play styles are a whole thing. Like there are players that play slower and bait, and then there are players that play faster and do it. Like for example, Dylan Cod is unfucking believable, and I say that because that guy goes in fast, he goes first a lot, and he does a great job doing it. Like he is very good. I like using Preston as an example too. Even someone like Asim. We haven't talked about him all cast. Bro, Asim is the craziest player ever. You know about it. You guys know about it. You play with him, Maddie. You guys play against him. He might be a little too fast sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like, he
another
can
thing.
learn.
If we picked up Dylan instead of, for example, if we picked up Dylan instead of Asim, we wouldn't have been as good as we are.
And they're both great players. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Well,
It's
he
play
suits our
styles.
team. We need him. We need Asim. He suits our team a lot better than attacks does.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like both of them are great players. It's just
Yeah.
like play styles and going in. Like Asim is your entry guy. He's your go-to guy. He might have a .8 some maps, but like you guys thoroughly believe that Asim is a great teammate, and you guys know what he brings. Same thing with our team and
Sure.
Ian. Ian has maps where he gets shit on, and we laugh about it because we know like Ian didn't get shit on sitting in the back of our spawn. He's going in first. He's baiting. He's making us play better, and that's like the whole point. Where I feel like that is so lost to a lot of people, especially what I was gonna bring it to Clay. What I was saying before. The amateur scene. I want to talk about this very briefly. I don't want to get too far into this, but we had like a side monitor in the pro lounge of like the amateur bracket, and like not all the matches were like two really good amateur teams playing against each other, but like some of the amateur teams that were playing like I feel like what we're talking about is like a glaring issue in how they play the game, and it's like you can just see it from the way they are running and the way they are playing, like. I know they know the spawns and shit, obviously. Like, they're good players. I've played against a bunch of them. But, like, I just feel like that mindset gets into, like, even, like, amateur players. Like, yo, I have to drop a 1.3. If I drop a 1.3, Clayster's going to pick me up on a United. Like, most of the time, if you're trying to get picked up by a top team, one of the top teams has that player that actually looks, or, like, their coach or whoever it is, looks at players and is like, that guy's dropping a 1.3, but he's a slow hamster, as FaZe RJ likes to say. He's a slow hamster. He's not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's playing slow. That's what it is. Like, he's not doing shit. Then, like, bro, when I watched Dylan Cod play for the first time, and I love using him as an example, big fan of him, obviously, as you can tell. You watch Dylan Cod, the first time I saw that kid play, I was like, this kid's fucking disgusting. You know
He's
what I'm saying?
unreal. That one of his current problems, and I think it's his only problem, is he also goes off for them a lot, but he also costs them a lot of rotations. For example, a lot of holds because he's a crackhead. He childs everything. He has a lot to learn.
Same thing with Asim. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Preston, like Priesta, one of his biggest problems is sometimes he gets a little overzealous. I mean,
He challenges absolutely everything. Even when he's half health, even when he's got 2 and feels like he needs to get the 3rd, that's what he's currently going through. And once he gets that down, bro, it'll be unreal.
And that's the thing. I think like Asim, Priesta, like all those players, like kind of maintain that, and I think they get better.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing though. It's like there's just those play styles that like you see, and it's just such a difference to like why like even like some amateur players, like it just looks like some of them just don't give a fuck about winning, and it's like disgusting. You know what I'm saying? And like it's just like I don't know if they don't watch like some teams play and like try and get better, or they're genuinely actually trying to pad their stats just so they can leave the amateur bracket getting 6th and saying like, yo, I had a fucking 1.4, like I might have got 6th, but I had a 1.4.
It's kind of a product
like, bro,
from
fuck
all
off.
of us. You
No, I
kind
know,
of
and that's-
always talking about stats, and that's what you always see. Like, and ever since like stats came about, everybody's just like stats, leaderboards, top 10. I had a top 3 KD at this event, and this, that, and the other. It's like everybody just always talks about fucking stats.
I do think stats are way more important in previous games, though. I just think in
other
this one
games.
it's so.
In this game, I definitely think it's way
I-
less important.
I don't know. My theory on COD is I hate having distinct roles in Call of Duty. I
Right.
hate like Sam's
Right.
are ICR. I hate like Sam should not always be the last one into a
But Sam
situation.
is,
in a
Sam
perfect
is not.
world.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but it's not like that. Sam sometimes is gonna be in front of Ian, and if Sam does not fucking sprint in there before Ian, there's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then there's
Like,
three
that's
people in there looking at a door
keep
instead of a
like
1v1.
for instance,
You know?
what I can bring up from our thing, people would probably classify me as like a slower Maddox player, like more like the person who baits and stuff like that. But when it came down to in a 2v1 versus Optic, I got to the bomb first, and I said I'm gonna hop it right away. 90% of other slower Maddox players would have been like, nah, enable, hop this, I got you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
True.
And
Like,
that is
if you're
true.
in the situation, you have to make the play.
Yeah.
No,
like if
don't
you're
wait
the,
for your SOG to come and slide in, because then you're literally making it to where your SOG's gonna drop a 0.6
And not
and
only
get
that,
out of rhythm.
Yeah, and not only
Like,
that,
bro,
you're letting players
yeah.
catch up. You're letting teammates catch up.
Yeah,
to
if
yeah.
I get to ring on frequency and Ian's behind me, I'm going in first. I don't care
Facts.
who's behind me, I'm going in first. Ian's gonna get my trade. I trust Ian to get a trade. If I
Well,
don't trust my
you
teammates to
shouldn't be
get a
teaming
trade,
with them.
Exactly. Like,
yeah,
you should be playing like to help your teammates do better too, and putting up the stats.
and see,
That's
like,
why I think the stats are so fugazi in this game.
and what you just said though, I feel like to the amateur scene, like I know I have had a few amateurs actually DM me after some of my podcasts and talk about how much they actually like this and stuff, and they feel like a lot of people don't get it, and that's why I'm kind of talking about it, just to like kind of just bring light on that too. This is not only pro, this is a community thing. It's like Austin, what you just said, like I guarantee you, like 80% of amateurs don't think like that. And even if they
No,
might,
they don't.
they might want to bullshit right now and be like, no, I think like that. No, you just fucking don't. Like I've seen it in some
Yeah.
of the gameplay. Like these, like some players hurt their teams more than they help, regardless of their stats, because like
That's what I'm saying.
they do that shit, and it's like
Some of
it's
those
so
people with
annoying
a
to watch.
1.3 are hurting their teams more than they're helping.
Yeah, they suck.
They could have a 1.1 and be doing more for the team than their 1.3 is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That like that's the definition of being fucking ass. That's like my
Especially-
definition of it.
Especially in a 150 health stim Call of Duty. Especially.
Interesting. That's other stuff. All right, we'll take it's been an hour 40, so I'm not going to hold this up too much longer. We'll take a few questions from the chat really quick, and then we're going to call it because I don't want to keep us here forever. But this has been fun so far. Yeah.
it has been.
Yeah, dude, I honestly thought this was gonna be like an hour and a half, and then right before this shit did it, I looked at Twitter and I saw every roster change. I was like, holy shit! Like I was not expecting 17 topics. Like I thought it was gonna be pretty quick. Is GenG the real deal? I mean, we kind of talked about them. We'll talk about it real quick. I think GenG is the real deal in the sense, like I think they're good. They've gotten what 6, 6, 6. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they've been consistent, and then they got second. Like. I don't think they're going to get first or second every event, which is, first of all, very hard to do. But I think they're very good. I think they're a very well-rounded team, and I think they're good.
Yeah. I think they play the game like
Yeah.
the most correct.
I think
or
they're a
if not
good
really
team.
close.
The word team
Yeah.
with them is, like, they are a great team. Very good. They have
Mhm.
talent, and they are a great team. What do you guys think?
I agree with that. Exactly that. What you said. I think
Yeah.
they have just like a little, but like above average talent, like overall. But I also think they're a really, really good team.
Yeah. They have good vetoes. They have a good idea of how to play every map. They execute well together. I feel like they don't have superstar talent, right? Like Envoy, I guess, Major Maniac, maybe.
yeah.
But like,
Havoc's been
nothing
really
too
good this game.
crazy. Yeah, but like, I don't think you put Havoc with like your Hugh, Stashy, stuff like that. You wouldn't do that. But he plays just as well as them in the game because of the system they have.
Yeah, Havoc's been great all year, other than
No, he has
landing off
been,
the
yeah.
map a few times. Other than that, he's been good. As long as he can learn how to
Like, I
stay
mean,
on
I
the
think
map
at the
sometimes,
event they
he's
only
good.
lost three series the whole event, and every one of them was to us. They beat everyone else.
Did they? They only lost to
Yeah.
us. They lost to us 3
Yeah.
times. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They played good. They beat some of the best. What do you think of Envoy? All right. I'm gonna roast Envoy really quick, and then I'm actually gonna gas him. So I thought Envoy was absolute fucking garbage before this game. Not in like a way of like I just didn't think he was that good. Like he wasn't that like in AW he was pretty good. I was kind of biased. He used to talk a lot of shit to my team. Very few people have gotten me angry. He was one of them to have. And with that being said, like I was obviously biased. I didn't think he was that good. AW he didn't put up the craziest stats, but like I never thought he was that good. And I'm not one to really hold grudges or anything. Like obviously we talked out we talked out everything in AW. Like we got over it. And then when he got picked up this year, I wasn't really against him. I wasn't for him. I was just like, I'm curious to see how he does because like he's been getting a lot of gas. And honestly, for me, speaking on Envoy, I think Envoy is actually extremely fucking good. I think he is very good at this game. I think what he brings to that team is unbelievable. I think he is a great player. I think he wins the fights that he needs to win, and I think he wins I think he brings so much to that team. And honestly, my opinion about him as a player has completely done like a flip flop. And honestly, like I don't know. I think he's great. I don't know what you guys think, but I think Envoy's actually really good at this game.
I mean, you know what I think. I say
Well,
all the
you
time.
say
I
it
think
all the
he's
time,
really
but
good. Yeah, I think he's really fucking good.
What do you think, Maddie? I know you have.
Yeah,
your
he's
very-
disgusting.
Yeah, you have your opinions about some people, so you never know with you. Might
He was
come
one
out
of the
with all
better players in that.
shite.
He was probably the best player in that midnight team. So to see him land on his feet, obviously when he joined that GenG team for Splyce, it was really good because I think he is really good and he's talented. So fair play to him.
Interesting. Anything, Clay? Or do you agree?
I
feel like
mean, everybody knows him back in the day. I thought he was like a border
Yeah, well,
crackhead
no,
kid,
he-
and he's
he
like
definitely had a
posting
bad
pictures
past.
of like prescription bottles and has like a
Yeah.
Zim in the background, and
he has
you
a
know,
bad
it's
past,
always-
but I think he's come a long way.
for him
good
to
to
actually
him,
come
man.
out and play like this on LAN, props to him. I
And-
think he's good
and-
now. I think he's cemented himself as a top player now.
Yeah, and like I've talked to him in person, like face to face, and he's come a long way. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I
he's
think
different
he's
now.
he's grown up a lot, and that's like a big thing for me. That's what I'm saying. Like I had a lot of issues with him. Not like issues like glaring, but like I said, like we've had like our shit talks between each other in AW and shit, and like he's come a long way. He's a really good kid and he's a really good player, and honestly, I'm happy to see how well he's been doing. So good for him. Okay, next EU roles. Wait, Clay, you guys made a role change? Is that allowed to be
Not
talked about?
100% yet.
Oh, okay, it's rumored.
It's all just whatever Bryce wants us to do. So
Oh, Coach Bryce making plays. I like that.
we'll know when we start
What's
scrimming.
He's coaching you up.
What's the options? You want ICR or you not? Is that what
Bro,
it is?
I'll run a SOG. I don't care. I'll run a Vision SOG. I'll run whenever they want me to run, dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, are you guys discussing anything, or are you just not? putting, like-
Yeah, I mean, it's just been slightly discussed. I mean, obviously, me and Preston on Maddox, like we've been saying this whole thing. You need an explosive Maddox player that can go off, and we've been like I mean, he does sometimes, I do sometimes, but as an overall consistent level, we've been lacking, and we might try me on an ICR and move
An
our
Alex,
cities
okay.
to the Maddox, or
Interesting.
I don't think we're gonna move either of the two kids off of the SOGs. I think that would be a dumb move. So it's just something else over there.
Yeah.
On the other side of it with the AR situation.
Yeah, I mean,
Gotcha.
I think you guys are going to be. I mean, you guys are already very good, so I think you guys will figure it out. And I think Bryce is actually an extremely good coach, obviously a good friend of mine. So I think you guys will get it all. So we'll see. I'm curious
Thanks,
to see what
man.
you guys choose with. The real quick with the chat, Shotzi, Illy, and them guys. I've talked about them every podcast. I'm not going into it again. They're all amazing players. I think Shotzi and Illy specifically will have very, very bright futures ahead of them if they're as talented. Like, they are very talented. I'm not going to go into that again because we talked about it a lot. I want one person, the last thing we'll talk about. What's going on with Pharaoh? Does anyone know?
Open bracket.
So he's not on the team? That's it? That's
I
it?
don't think he is. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Pharaoh's a talented player. It's weird. I feel like Pharaoh, like, I don't know who EG's picking up yet. I heard the rumors and, like, all that stuff. I feel like if they dropped, like, Phantoms, like, maybe Pharaoh could be, like, a weirdly good, like, maybe, like, an extra, like, Slayer to what they need. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, I don't know. We'll see. I know I don't think he's getting picked up on their team. I think he's in the open bracket. I've never teamed with Pharaoh. I know, obviously, he's probably had some attitude issues, but I've heard also really good things about him from the TK.
A lot of players have really bad
So,
attitudes.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's
90% of them.
yeah.
It's embarrassing.
So it's like I don't know. I don't know much about him behind the scenes.
People weren't even awake
But-
for scrims at 4 o'clock today.
Well,
That's
yeah,
unacceptable.
That was LG, right? You
I
tweeted
tweeted. I already called him
Yeah,
out.
he tweeted. Yeah, he did.
Fucking
At 4
embarrassing, bro.
PM?
Stuff
4
like that is
p.m.,
just
bro.
unacceptable.
4 p.m., bro.
Well, yeah. I mean, my thing is with the addressing of being late. Pharaoh had a .72 at Anaheim. I mean, they just that team got shit.
They
on.
all
Well,
got
team
shit.
got
That team chalked it up. They all got.
If anyone
shit
has a positive KD
Yeah.
and you didn't win a map, then
then
they
you,
need
then,
to be
then
dropped.
the person that's positive sucks in the sense like something's going wrong. But
Yeah.
yeah, the whole being late thing, and obviously Clay, you've had your opinions on it. Clay, you know me, so you already know my opinion
Yeah.
on it. But like, I mean, I just think if players are being late to scrims like this, it's on their coach and their organization.
I wouldn't mind, yeah, but he's absolutely arse, bro. He has been a bottom 5 player on this game, and he's not waking up for scrims. How is it? Bearing in mind, they formed a new roster last night. The impression to the 2 new kids. That's embarrassing, bro. First thoughts. They're at the bottom, bro. It's not on. It should be fined. It's happened
Yeah.
before. They've not been fined, so.
So my thing, Maddie, to this is like, for players that don't wake up from scrims and stuff, I don't think this is even a player's fault anymore. It obviously is, But
I'd
like,
find myself if I didn't
but-
wake up on time for a scrim.
see,
I'd find myself.
that's what I'm saying. That's my thing where it's like I just feel like coaches and organizations should actually like treat their players like professionals and actually find them. Like,
Yep.
bro, people are getting paid fucking sick amount of money to play Call of Duty for a living. And don't get me wrong, everything comes with its stresses and everything's like everything has its
Oh,
goods
I
and its
agree.
bad.
You have to
but-
wake up before 4 p.m.
Yeah,
and get to your setup and turn it on, and that's it.
and that's it.
That's it. That's
And-
it. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to talk to anybody but your team. Like, you don't got to stream. You don't got to do anything. You got to get out of bed and sit at your setup.
Yeah.
That's
Sit at your
fucking
setup
it.
and play a video game.
Yeah.
That's what
And
I'm
make
saying.
fucking
Like,
Bro.
six figures.
I'd
Sick.
be, yo, if my teammate was late to scrims because he was asleep, I'll get a fucking flight
Oh.
to his house.
and I mean, and that goes for like so many players too. Like it's not just like an LG thing. Like this is a lot of players. Like if you can't wake up and stuff, like that's on the coach and the organization to actually find players and actually treat them
Yep.
like professionals. If I'm the owner, if I'm Nate Shot right now, and Austin's being late to scrims, I'm telling me, who's the coach, I'm not paying this guy all of this money, like any money, let alone
Yeah.
all this money, to disrespect other people and his own teammates not to show up. Like, it is disrespectful at the end of the day, and like
It
I
has
don't
to be
like.
mutual respect.
Yeah, and like
Done
that's
it-
what it
done
comes
it
down
twice
to.
now?
It, and I feel like this is not just an LG team. This is a lot of teams, and like it just comes down to like, bro, like you're old. Like most of us are 18. We are all 18 and older. Most of us are a lot older than that. Like it just comes down to just be respectful. If you can't, the organization and the coach should be finding the shit out of you, because your one job to get paid a good amount of money is to show up and sit at this setup that I'm at right here and play for 4 or 5 hours, and then obviously your extra time. But like your actual job is those scrim times, and like if you can't show up and do that, that's like a huge glaring issue, and that's now on the coach and the organizations, in my opinion, to actually hold their players to a professional standard. And it's disgusting that it's not a thing.
It's just sad, bro. That
Yeah.
just
Yep.
shows me that they don't give a fuck. They don't want to win.
Yep.
They don't care about anything. They're just
mean-
literally collecting a check.
And I
Yep.
think organizations should stop enforcing that attitude, or allowing that attitude. I think that's
Because
that,
if the
that's
players won't be
ridiculous.
professionals, then it's on the org to,
Yeah.
to make them
And
be a professional. for
every-
paying the money.
and every sport in the world has players like that. Even like basketball players, football players, getting paid millions to show up to practice. They don't do it. There's players like that, and like, what do you know though? If they don't do that, they're getting fined $50,000. You know what I'm saying? Like they're getting fined thousands of dollars because I'm not paying you if you're not putting in 110% of effort to be the best team and provide my team a championship. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should be viewed.
Yeah.
And I really hope that eventually what I'm about to say, like these organizations, and it's not just orgs, like and coaches, allow themselves to hold their players to a higher professional standard and do something about it in all esports, because it's just what it should be. I would love to see, the more we grow as esports, I would love to see it get more professional, this period. You know?
This guy said in your chat, Slasher shouldn't be saying it shows they don't care. Say the players' names. Obviously, the other players were on time. But in my opinion, it's just on your teammate or your team and like your teammate's fault if you're late. Like if one of my teammates late, I'm blowing his phone up and making a big issue out of it. Like to a point where it's like, you didn't tell us you were late. Like what's going on? You're wasting all of our fucking time. Blah blah blah. Like I'm getting pissed about it. And so then it's just as much on me as if one of them's late. You know, like you're a team. Like. Yeah, okay, you're not personally responsible for this person, but if it's something that's consistently happening, then it's like something you should have brought up to your org. If like you can't do anything about it, bring it up to your org and then make them do something about it, you know?
Yeah, there was literally a clip of me yelling at my old team about not showing up on time.
Exactly, dude.
Or 10 minutes
Well,
late.
I had
for
my
the
thing with the phase thing.
Second
saying,
week
like,
in a row.
Yeah, literally, I had my thing a few times. Like the phase guys that I played with last year are all pretty good, but like obviously you guys know me. Like I can get super angry pretty quick. I've had times where I was like, listen, if you're not gonna get on within 10 minutes, I'm just getting off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yep.
waiting for you to. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm here on time every day. If you're not gonna do this, I'm getting off. Like
And look what's happened. Look what's happened since Slash. Has anyone been late?
yeah, it's just it's
Everyone's on time every day.
that's
Yeah.
and that's like it's just what it is. It just shouldn't be.
Shows you want it too, you know? Show up on time
Exactly.
every day.
Like,
Show
oh,
you
I'm-
fucking want it.
I'm
Show
on
you fucking
two-
want it.
I'm on 2 hours early, me bro. Shooting bots, warming
You're
up, playing
killing the
League,
vibe before practice even starts.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like you just
Yeah.
you're showing the other team like I don't care about you guys. I don't care about practice.
But this happens nearly enough every scrim, though. It's near enough every scrim then. So 70% of the teams don't care.
Yeah.
It's the sad truth, dude.
Yeah.
Sad truth.
And I just that's
Good for
why
us though.
It's great.
And that's why I just think it should just come down to just literally organizations holding their players to standards. That's what it should be.
For sure.
It's sad that it's come down
if
to that.
I'm
though,
the
but yeah,
owner of an
you're right.
org, or if I'm the GM of an org, if one of my players is being a dickhead, I am going to find them and with a smile on my face. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would love for someone on our team to fucking show up an hour late and just be like, yeah, I overslept. Like, an hour late. Like, an actual, like, waste an hour of my time. You know what I'm saying? Like, while we sit there, I would love that. I would love to go and be like, hey, Nate, I would love to take $2,000 off this guy's salary now. With a smile on my face. Because it's just the point. Like, just show up on time and do your fucking job. It's just what it is. So, like, yeah, we'll end it on that note, though. Thank you guys for being on. I appreciate it very much. I think we had a good time.
It's been a good fucking time.
Bro,
Thanks for having
bro.
us.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, it was just 2 hours. I don't know how long these are ever supposed to go, but we had a lot of topics discussed. I did not realize that there was going to be 17 roster changes happening today, but they happened, so I appreciate you guys being here. Everyone that came out and watched, I appreciate you guys being here as well and watching and answering questions and all that stuff. And until the next Crowder Hours, I'll be putting this on YouTube as fast as I can, so obviously go look at there probably in like tomorrow morning-ish area, and we'll see you guys later. All right, later,
Peace.
everybody.
All right, boys, take it easy, guys.
Yeah,
Peace
later,
out.
guys.
Peace out. Peace out.